Hello, good morning. Well, who's gonna have the highest seed? EDG, I guess. Good morning, cheese bread. So it'll be like FPX will ban Bind, EDG will ban Ascent like they have been. FPX will pick Lotus. EDG will pick Breeze. FPX will pick. They won't pick Ascent. Maybe they'll pick Split. EDG will pick. Haven, maybe. Trying to think of what like kind of order it'll be, because the maps we'll see. You don't think EDG go for the sunset again? I don't know. I don't think they'll shift roles at this point. It's hard to really guess. Where is that? There we go. Well, that's because this is up, right? Morning, Sido. Let me check it's all live on YouTube as well. YouTube Studio. Content. Live. I actually think that, like, for the picks for EDG, they're more likely to pick Haven, because their Haven's pretty good and FPXs didn't look great. Breeze, I think they're more likely to pick because they're happy with it. I think they're happier with Breeze. They picked Sunset yesterday because Breeze was spanned out by Breratom. And then Sunset. And if for FPX, they'd prefer the Lotus because they always like their Lotus. They would like Ascent, but that's going to be banned out. So out of Split and the other three maps here, probably say that like maybe Sunset shows up a little bit earlier, but from FPX's side. And then Bind will be banned out by FPX anyway, so it's not going to make too much of a difference there. So it's not quite sure where it's gonna like place it, I guess. But I think we'll probably see Lotus first. Because EDG were higher seed because they came from the upper bracket. So they'll probably choose to be Team B because a lot of teams do. This is also kind of quiet now.
是的，而且我觉得对于 EDG 来说，可能他们要纠结的一个点是继续勇搬自己的亚海玄城，还是说像昨天采访说到的一样莲花古城？这个可能对于他们来说是需要去斟酌的，因为对于 FunPlus 而言，他们拿到莲花古城。
Also, it's not that the other events that are happening like Pacific. But this one's gonna be iffy to get a watch party because it's a free car. This one I'll ask about. I think like for convergence, and I don't know what this tournament is. I think it's more lower tier in China, but I figured like if there's some partnership teams in there that are playing it, might be quite good to watch. I'm not really too sure.
看一下现场的牌子。等你，这是已经在呼喊康康了。因为其实从昨天的比赛来看，我觉得两个选手的对位 still 是小胜一筹。但我觉得这可能也跟康康近期的位置轮换有很大的关系嘛。
What's Horny? Some sort of China national one. Okay, EDG are actually picking first. So Ascent, this should be Bind. Really not sure what this map would be. Probably Breeze.
可以考虑一下，甚至是微风岛屿也是可以考虑的。那还是选择ban掉了。
So like Breeze maybe, Lotus.
微风岛屿2胜1。
Haven.
但对于 EDG 来说，我感觉可能他们会更倾向于往影视修索。
So they're gonna go for the Haven first, which makes sense because it was a really poor map from FPX. So this will probably be Breeze and then Sunset later. Yeah, that's easy enough. EDG pick Breeze. FPX probably Split. I think they'd rather play Split than Sunset, but maybe they do pick Sunset because of how well it went yesterday and that EDG lost it. It's called the China National, I think it is. Okay, they pick Sunset and Split for a last map. I mean, fair. We get to see more of like EDG. We haven't seen much of EDG on Breeze this act as much as other ones, but we also get to see the Raze. Breeze pick from FPX. Yeah, Haven as the first map is something I'm a little bit worried about. Like, it did look good. Both run in the Viper comps though. But I guess we kind of get to see how they compare really. Because EDG look a little bit more well versed in what makes this comp good. Whereas FPX just kind of were doing old stuff. Nothing new nor fancy. 两支队伍在影视修索不约而同都选到了双烟，那对于两支队伍而言，考验运营的时候到了，考验运营、考验拉扯的时候到了。而且我们一直说双烟这套体系是上限很高，但下限也会很低的一套阵容。是，而且在抛弃了铁臂选到斯凯之后，其实在前列位给到自己决斗位的技能没有那么的充足，因为引入之损这个技能真的太好被规避掉了。是，而铁臂的话可能有一个比较强势的控制技能。来吧。 A region not T2 tournament? Yeah, I don't think it's anything special either. You just never know with these kind of things. Like FPX's wall is like very standard. This wall is very standard. The turret playing off the back of it here, the alarm bot here. Like EDG setup just looks more normal, I suppose. EDG not using Viper Smoke on A. I mean, where did they throw it here? Oh, in C? I mean, if you've got an Omen, you can just smoke this off anyway. Might be also if it's more like an A default that they can pick this up and take it to A. 技能很多 ，Smoky 只有一颗引路之损，但是对面有5个人。狂怒啊！而且重生点附近集结了4个人，车库下面还藏着一个留一手。哦，已经看到留一手的位置了。Ooh, the paranoia is really good actually from attack. Good round from FPX. It'd be very interesting to see if FPX somehow just look a little bit more stronger than they certainly did against. Who would it have been? attacking Soul.
在集结第二波的时候，浩东一个前顶拿信息，又被抓到了背身，就导致这个首相局其实已经很难操作了。
是的。 而对方 Plus 来说，他们当然会更熟悉这一套双烟的阵容，因为他们已经打了很多次了，并且
What was that shot today? Yeah, if he's down and around.
甚至双球星
I think he's on.
那看一下，在第2分，
哇，这个起枪略显奔放。
But he might have just come online, I'm not too sure.
3把长枪配合上奥特姆的飞将，这样自己在架枪的过程当中是非常占优的。
是，在第一
I have to wake up a bit more too.
诺巴的已经是被打残了。
还要出去探吗？
想把少杰炮台给拆掉，但因为有独木的掩护，没有看得很清楚。
而且对于 Nobody 来说不能掉啊，这个位置就如果掉了的话，这个车库其实是挺危险的。
感觉今天 FunPlus 打的还
It's actually crazy how popular this comp is right now. No, I mean these are like 2 of the very few teams that play it in the top of China.
在 A 大做了一波慢摸，但其他4个人是要往车库走了。
I think it's a little bit overrated personally. But good chance to learn it and play it. I wouldn't be a team. I wouldn't be practicing this in off season because I feel like if we get to VCT like in 2024, I feel that some element of this comp is going to be changed. I feel if you're practicing this comp, you're gonna not be able to use it for very long. But I think FPX generally like this comp, and they'll kind of copy it anywhere.
我只要保到 A 区，你打 A 我就硬接一波，你打 C 了，大不了我保证一个5v5的回防。
Like they quite literally use it everywhere, as far as I remember.
拉开了这个交战距离之后，对面的狂徒和幻影发挥空间非常大，自己也没有护甲的情况下，感觉这波火拼不太好拼。FunPlus 过来要去拿点数了，
哎，看到了，但 Nobody 这里血量太残了，自己只有1个人，肯定要等队友。这波
I do like think that this is so easy to like disrespect.
已经没有想再进点了。
We just go in for like straight C executes mostly. But it's more dependent on how you play it than anything else.
血太少了，对 Nobody 来说不太好去挣扎。在另外一边，后头想过来补枪也被 Autumn 狙掉。
只剩下2个人了，就看这把飞将，我觉得其实下掉的话，对于 FunPlus 来说损失也不重。这样剩下2个人也是选择。
Good start from FPX so far. Nothing too crazy, nothing too outrageous.
慢打拿到了一些关键信息的。其实主要是看到斯凯了。对于 EDG 这个阵容来讲，因为技能不是很足的情况下，斯凯其实是最有威胁的一个点。刚刚看到了峰峰。是的，镜头也是给到了峰峰啊，也在现场观赛。而对于现在目前 EDG 来说，这前2分的丢失对他们来说有点伤。
Yeah, good shots from Autumn too.
怎么去攒接自己的终极技能
Right, full buys, half money for FPX. Really, it's not full rifles bonus that they're just going for. I mean, are they missing anything else really? I don't think so.
有人的，对方 Plus 来说，好像对 A 点想要去打一波突袭。
They're just a fast execute on A. There's the smoke, but the smoke isn't really there to like cover that gap. So FPX just go for an execute. Just there's nothing really there to stop them.
有点伤啊，这个采取的人数交换并不是很占优，但1三一瞬间球还是架住了。 这个对阵的 timing 没有抓住，不过2楼能够补到位置。
1打3的残局是给到了球球，球球大拉出来先收一个，但是
I mean, they managed to fight back a little bit more, but yeah, that's FPX actually winning a pistol and then winning a bonus.
还是比较轻松的。
这其实 A 点比较难守的一个原因是
At this pace, you're going to be seeing Viper on every map. Well, I mean, yeah.
你没有太多位置可以站。刚刚相后的位置既吃了蛇吻，又吃了暗眼，还有引路之锁的一个限制。
She is actually really good at most maps. I think both teams, like FPX's defense, really struggled last time against attacking Soul.
基本上对于 FunPlus 而言，他的终极技能好了，但是离魂确实在进攻方这个作用没有那么大。
不过我觉得离魂对于 FunPlus
And like they lost like 13-5. So I think it's just the attacking side working first.
就等你出来跟我对枪，一直在不停的暴露枪声。
但对于 EDG 来说，也不太敢防守前压啊，因为他们也知道 FunPlus 喜欢打慢的，防守前压会给机会。FunPlus 要打 B， 但 B 点其实我觉得对 EDG 来说是可以接受的这个回防，他们有锋刺。
Right, FPX are just going for fast executes all the time. Like they're just grouping up, and then in A, in C, hitting B now.
不过康康这波绕后手上是只有一把鬼魅的，枪械差距还是有点大。
阿阳在等，看一下，应该已经看到康康的位置了。引路之笋直接打出来，但不是。
Knows that there's two behind now with a sky flash.
阿阳站的还是比较死，对面第一时间清不掉他，拉开。
How it does be exactly, I don't know. We've spoken about it enough. Like over the past couple of weeks, I think. I mean, great damage that's been done here.
2打4，但注意时间已经不多了。刘一手在夹着这个口子能夹到吗？这个过点位大脚步过去 ，Smoky 接了一发子弹，而后续球就过来，刘一手再打一个，最后的位置看一下。
There's not really any time now for Kung Kung to do anything anyway. But you know, close round. Actually, Bolin dies too, so really good eco from EDG to keep FPX's money in a little bit of a rougher spot. I don't know how rough that is exactly. Not crazy bad considering they've won 4 in a row.
是，而且其实刘一手这一波也是非常关键，就如果刘一手那个位置倒得太快的话，说不定这个对 EDG 来说还有一个拆包的机会。就
Not really fed some big ultimates too. No surprise here, I don't think. Just an early timeout from EDG because it's not been a great start.
因为作为首先进攻方，他们有装爆乐器的一个奖励会比较的富有，而且刚刚也是一个4连胜。
Look at that, they're watching the killjoy.
哦，看到了非常多的熟人。
你那个 pad 反光，盖看不到。啊，什么意思啊？
哎，有看到哦。对于 NOC 老师的一个。
Is that Alan watching today?
好，我很喜欢。看一下现在，对于 EDG 来说，暂停完回来之后有一个点，可能他们需要注意，因为。FPX 其实不管是抢 A 大还是车库，他们抢的都是比较果断的，他们是很舍得去交技能的。但是如果说你要知道 A 大和这个车库，如果你没有掌控权的话，对手拉扯起来是比较轻易的，那你的防守阵型可能会被拉扯散。
对，现在两边。
There's probably a lot of people there actually today. It's Saturday night.
我觉得这个明居是有点在猜 EDG 的打法了。他们觉得可能在经历过前4分的被动之后 ，EDG 会选择前顶出来看。
是。
这个明居也是为了去架你前顶出来的人。
但看一下第一时间防守直接给盐给到的是 A 厅，而 FPX 这一波要。
Flash gets a good amount considering the smokes here.
条路的话，可能要交点技能。
对，因为看经济面板也能够猜到康康大概率会起狙。
Again, there's no messing about here at all. Really early Skydog. A really good Skydog because it gets all of the information. Skydog goes in first, Paranoia hits, Howdong dodges all of this beat up on here. But Berlin, I think, just spots him over the top of the smoke. Smoggy played the sewers are losing despite this, kind of rough. Everybody else is rotated. They know that this one's sewers. At least Autumn wins that fight. But you've lost Berlin, so you don't have smokes for Heaven, so it means that Kung Kung can kind of roam free when that Viper Orb goes down. Good response. Good attempt, I suppose, to have 2 players here playing for Sewer. But Berlin dying from Sewers is rough, especially when you've got the Killjoy still needed to clear most of it.
而在第2波借助障云的掩护，听到 Smoky 在小道是躲藏了非常久的时间的，等到了队友几乎已经贴到了2楼近点和。
Oh wow, he just pre-aims it. I don't think he even saw him. Maybe it's on the minimap.
安装时机了，是的，自己一直被拖在点里，站位也完全展不开。
而且柏林倒了，有个最尴尬的问题就是2楼没烟了，康康的明居过来刚刚好有一个架设的空间，
而且因为。蝰蛇的这个障云已经提前丢过了，他没有办法再。
Actually, straight onto an eco. They lose 1 round and they're on an eco.
稳住了自己的节奏。
上一分FPX 的经济是一个 all in 啊，这分直接没钱。
I mean, now all FPX are doing are just 4-1 defaulted everywhere. Good fight from Shishu. Snake bite was really good as well, actually, from nobody. Stops anybody else from just trying to trade that. You get the lurk on Berlin. Skydog. I mean, that's enough information to really work with. A rare Kung Kung miss. Oh, great shot from Ian. Smoggy's still done like decent damage here. But TCH is the one to pick up the operator. Forced up Seekers on this eco too.
这两个感觉，这个被蹭一下就没了。而现在对方 Plus 来说，时间只剩30秒了，他们的位置已经被锁定了，而且 Nobody 的前压是能够获取非常多的信息的，知道你没有在转点。现在就要看唯一一个满血的
really up off the top.
能不能再创造一些经典的可能。
Make it costly because the money's like pretty poor.
TZH 走第一位，给队友拉枪线了，已经。走第一位，但是没用啊，这个血量太少了，而且这个操作空间。
And everybody else just goes to their death on A.
EDG 是成功稳定住自己的局势。明局也可以回收过来，这分对于 EDG 来说。
Yeah, I mean pretty nice. I think
完全可以接受。
EDG have had a good time out, steadied the ship.
这分我觉得其实想要强行突破车库，稍微有点尴尬的是这个引路之损，其实并不能起到很好的去限制对手。
Only slight negative, I suppose, is that you use the Seekers, but I think on rounds like that, it's kind of needed. You don't want to let it get out of hand, and I don't really think the FPX are doing anything too, like, clever. Better than it was, but it is just 5 people executing around the map. Now it's 4. You got that lurk, and I think EDG are dealing with this lurk too.
其他4个人是要来到车库的位置做一波尝试。这个独木其实，我觉得 EDG 应该是能够有。
Although I don't know why the Sky had left. I don't know if they'd flashed and managed to get through, but I don't. There is a gap to exploit here. Seeker's been used on attack. Cook's pushed up, so this is a bit of like misinformation maybe. Skydog, okay, Skydog's good. And then the wraparound is going to be great from TCH. Really well played. So yeah, there was a bit of a fuck up here from EDG in how they cleared this. And they were pinging it too afterwards, so yeah. It still feels a little bit doable for EDG. These retakes have been good, they have lockdown as well. There's a Viper's Pit for TCH, but he's playing super far back. Clearing the flank overall. I mean, Autumn's actually stood on top of this box as well, just until the end. Skyflash actually flashes more EDG players from the looks of it. Autumn gets one, Smoggy's trying to fight 2. Yeah, really good round from FPX, really good luck from TCH.
被对手的这个独木给影响到了，第一时间没有想到有人已经进到小道了。而且我觉得方 plus 他们很果断的一个点是，当单末的人到了一定位置之后，他一定会把这个优势。
Oh, that flash is really good actually from FPX. Money just good enough to get a buy together. Good a blade storm as well. Autumn is the attack operator. When's the next major tournament? For China, it'd be in December because it's Ascension. It won't. Excuse me. It won't have teams like EDG, for example. But it's an important tournament, I think, for Tier 1 of next year. So hopefully a lot of people are interested. And one thing I learned yesterday from Sideshow when he had that meeting is that it's going to be 10 teams at Ascension. So actually, should see quite a lot of like various rosters. Global tournament? Oh, global tournament's not gonna really be till there's some off-season stuff, but it's not a major one. But yeah, the Africa's tournament, there's a Korean one called One, I think it is, the One Invitational.
Berlin 在骗，他是有离魂的，他想把大部分人勾过来，在 C 区跟他玩，而实际他们真正想要进攻的可能是 A 点只有一个，应该是 Smokey 在过点拿信息，而离魂直接看到了，看到 A 大人特别多。
Great information that they've got here. The rotation is still kind of a bit on the slower side. There's 2 people here like ready and waiting to fight. Oh, Autumn clears that really nicely. Frantic spraying, I think, from EDG with all of these smokes. They've actually moved over to the A smoke as well, because I feel that they're being exploited here more. Yeah, Masters Madrid is like March, I think. They don't have a Sky Flash to like get Kung Kung out of here. He's got a Blade Storm, so he might as well try and do something. But this feels pretty well held down, and as soon as he peeks, he's met with an Operator. It was originally in the hands of Autumn. He's passed over to Lysos to go for the execute. Maybe it is a match then, maybe it's like late Feb. Because a 2-month...
而且你能感觉到，就 FunPlus 这套阵容体系，他们对于点内这个技能铺设是做得非常足的，就几乎在相后都会有舌吻，然后前点位都会给一些引路之损和暗眼。那所以对于 EDG 来说，他几乎在点内是没有什么可以站的位置的。是。但如果你要打回防的话，其实我们知道上一分 EDG 是没有什么终极技能去提供给他们去打回防。
没有什么办法，确实，我觉得 FunPlus 他们这个慢打体系没有。 在前期被消耗掉太多技能，最后经典一波。
I mean, this has been so much better from FPX.
我觉得可能要考虑一下放点了。
Like the rate that they're improving on maps that they've not been good on.
把炮台打掉，这样可以让。
I mean, their defensive side could still be an absolute mess. That's what I'm worried about.
但感觉还是挺难受的。你这个小神位 pick 出来，就有可能会给到明剧机会。这对于 Autumn 来说刚说完 ，Nobody 的小神位 pick 直接被 Autumn 给狙掉了。
And then you just got the Viper peeking this on their own.
有点伤啊，倒了一个蝰射之后，车库这里会比较的危险。
And a TZH just peeking on the leg against Kong Kong.
这样慢打又被拉扯到了，又是一个3打5了，时间还有非常多。
Oh, timing. Shishu. Good supported fight for TCH. At least that gets traded out, because that could have been a mess. I mean, Howdog just peeking that is crazy, but it works. Because he gets 2. Kind of put the Operator in a really awkward spot now. 1 versus 2 that he has to win. But FPX has done well to actually group up together. The Paranoid connects onto both of them, though. Ayang's forced to fire with... sorry, Autumn's forced to fire with the off. Great flash from Ayang. I mean, nothing is going well for EDG. Like, the Viper dying here, just sort of peeking from C long is kind of a shame. I mean, Autumn just gets onto a really nice angle, to be fair. That fight's crazy from TCH. That trade's super important, and yeah. At least Howdong made it close. Because Ion was 13 HP here, too. Forces out both VDG's timeouts in the first half. Nobody trolling? Yeah, I mean, it felt risky anyway. Because at this point, you should know that if FPX are on a bit of a tear, that they are going to attack off.
看到了非常多的同事坐在台下，我觉得这场败者组决赛确实是比较的受大家关注的，因为真的很难想象 EDG 又一次落入到了败者组，而对于 FunPlus 来讲，他们这次能够重新冲回到3强，也是一个非常好的进化。
是的，而且 EDG 明显感觉在第一张地图上来，在自选图啊，他们已经遭遇了非常大的困境了。
Just lose, EDG gets a break. Well, I mean, no matter what they've done after this tournament,
而且单先锋的情况下，我觉得
like whether it's today or tomorrow. They're playing in the Africa tournament, so they don't get much of a break between other tournaments, but yeah, it's a crazy schedule that they put themselves on. Come back to having a Viper wall on C, turret here is no surprise, probably have the alarm bot here, but they don't have money. Oh, they're still going to do it anyway. Round 10. Look, just missing. Oh, timing. It's so 50-50. But I think, yeah, that's a good shout. Probably a call that was made of just don't be afraid to sort of fight the space more. Because they're not really going to be able to, like, lurk up this way as much. It's just this wall that we sort of need to be able to deal with.
对，主要是现在你进了点，你安不了包。
这爆能器也太远了。
This guy's got all of this information across. Kung Kung's going to be where the fight is. Pushing up here is going to get caught by this turret, so hoping to try and get some form of timing with the operator. It is weird that the team is going for an execute. That's crazy from Chishu. You got this execute going on while you have the jet over on C with the op.
手上还是一把民居，现在还要面临一个回去捡爆能器的时间压力，感觉这分可能要考虑直接保了。这个民居很难操作了已经，而且他也不想把这把民居。
I mean, Econ is sort of weird, I think, from EDG anyway. Because some people did have rifles.
很长士气，听到脚步声了，感觉这个锅颠一狙抽掉了浩东，那位置是明牌了，感觉 EDG 应该要过来去搅这把狙。肯定要搅的，自己手上反正也没有枪。劈离之后过来。
Alright, okay. Good shots from Autumn. Yeah, she just needs to not die at this point. I mean, that's still worth it. You keep the operator, and you actually keep the money pretty rough for EDG too.
也是实实在在的帮助 EDG 重新拿回了一分。 而且因为是一个存钱分的翻盘，下一分应该会比较的富有。对，对于康康来说，应该可以去起到一把民居，而这一波其实对于球球来说挺危险的，特别是阿阳和刘一手那个位置已经察觉到。
The shame, I suppose, that they'd go B where there's the one player with one of the few rifles, because he was a thrifty, so it was a bit worse for money. Kankung now is an operator of his own. Now Autumn's 13 and 4. You have Viper's Pit, you have Lockdown. Viper's Pit on the side. Again, good ultimate. I think what's made TCH so good this tournament is that he just doesn't care. Like, he's not afraid to go on like a crazy mission on a lurk that's super risky, because if there's a fight, he'll win it. And he doesn't care if it's just like a bit crazy to be like pushing something like into a Viper's Pit. Forces out the paranoia a little bit earlier. Just need to be careful here.
而欧腾好像也看到了康康的位置，
两个人互相打了一个照面，康康没有反应过来开出来枪。
对于康康来说，感觉这个车库确实不太能站啊，挺危险的。而且 A 小因为有魁父的存在 ，FunPlus 进攻。
Cooking's trying to predict where they're going to end up, because he saw them moving away from garage, so he thought they'd maybe go B. But I mean, especially with the smoke, it's going to look like it's C. So you got good people here. Kung's in a good spot. Just needs like an opening. Yeah, that's all he needs. Gives a rifle to Kung at least so he can just take these fights. So they know that an operator's back sight, and so Autumn just jumps out with a shorty anyway. And nobody is looking at Ayang. Okay, now they look at Ayang. The Viper's Pit's going to protect the plant. I mean, it's a 1 versus 2 now. TCH. Trying to predict that somebody would end up in logs, but yeah, good retake from EDG. It was, I mean, very, very close.
应该至少2到3个背身没有着急出枪，他想拉一个最完美的角度，这样可能一缩
Shishu's been
达到2个人。
really strong today.
犹豫让 Smokey 反应过来了，感觉有点杀意感知了。突然的一个回头，也是让阿阳没有预料到。
只能说收益不够大。这个回头，
两个同时回头是有人。
Nobody was indeed looking at Ayang. Yeah. Hey, Pavlos.
对。
所以当时两个人同时回头，这一分球球和 Smokey 是联手拿下了这个残局。
不过上半场最后一分
，AGG last round good for the liquid wall.
看一下康康想顶，这一分想顶，但是有炮台，先把炮台狙掉。但另外一边 Smokey 在 A 大。
Apache gets kill over here, and then you can smoke it off.
啊，少了一个先锋位，稍微有点伤。
Yeah, I think the thing that's helped EDG the most is like this control.
本来就偏少，再少一个先锋。
感觉只能挑 pick 了，而现在明局是给到了刘一手的手里。
挑 pick 其实也很危险，因为对面有进攻区。
对。
So they just get caught out peeking against the operator, and then paranoia gets used. Haodong's just spraying, breaking as much of this as possible. Lockdown's a good one. Haodong still sort of just dies as Autumn executes out. Good mid clear. You've got nobody rotated all the way around 2. Keeping the operator here, especially with the ball stuck back sight like this, is really nice. Oh, Autumn taking that fight the one way too is so good. And then Lysol's now attack hopping. Yeah, that one way, like Autumn playing that whole moment was incredible. Because they get stuck in this corner, they just post the operator up CT to like watch that area, whilst everybody else like can come through garage or could even flank around. Like that one way couldn't have been more perfect. Like Autumn is having an amazing game today. However, FPX's defense side was, what, 210 against attacking Soul? It was a really awful half for them. They looked like really out of ideas. They looked really uncomfortable. It was just... I don't mind saying it. FPX's defense with this comp was dog shit. So hopefully it's a little bit better. But I also don't know how much of that was like attacking Soul's attack on Haven. Because that was like attacking Soul's... yeah, that was like attacking Soul's like best map. And I think, speaking as a team, like from like our experience with Odd One Out, because Odd One Out, we love picking Haven. The thing that really brings it together, that what makes Haven such a good map to like pick and play, is like the attack. Because especially if you could go and like, if you pick, you know, like if you pick Ascent, the other team gets to pick what side they play, and most times they're going to go defense, and the attack side is harder. Like Haven, the attack side's a little bit easier. Crazy stats. 4 KD. I think these are first bloods. But the fact that like Shishu, I think Shishu had a bit of a slow start too. Like 300 plus ACS at half. 15-6 is crazy for a fucking Killjoy. They're doing this wall again. Like this looked like a wall that they were just yeeting out as much as possible. It's so odd. Like it cuts themselves off on Nest. And then like it goes through logs. I don't know what they're cooking, really. What will the winner of this series get? Like Essential winner becomes part of the team of Riot. Yeah, this is just an off-season event for most. We could go through it in the break. I feel like we... Like, Sideshow had a good section of his stream yesterday to sort of explain everything in detail. But I've like drafted it up in Google Sheets, so I can show that like in between maps. I've kind of told Lysedra everything I know at this point. Lysedra's actually spoken to people from Riot China, so... Okay, nice Autumn. Autumn is actually just destroying people. I think it's like 20-5 now. It might be 20-4. So I think he was what, 17-4 at the half. Alright, yeah. This team has to keep Autumn. Yeah, 20-5. Just saw the tech went out. Yeah, tech kind of got destroyed. Kind of ran out of steam, but they were never really going to do a huge amount of damage. Like, Trace dealt with them well. Okay, what? Autumn is now like 23-5. No wonder he's got a big fucking grin on his face. He is actually diffing Kung Kung. He collided no-scoped them as well. It's just every bit of magic that Kung Kung has gone over to Autumn today. Where's Autumn from? He's from New Zealand, I think. Australia, New Zealand, one of the two. OCE. Australia, no. I mean, maybe. I think the majority of the players, though, were New Zealand. But it might be me just mixing it up with, like, minimizing stuff. Yeah, one of the two. I never want to say Australia. Like, if I say that they're from New Zealand and they're Australian, it's not a big deal. If I say that he's Australian, he's from New Zealand, I think that is a big deal. Minimize is also Australian. I think maybe VLR is just wrong then. Will EDG come back? I think so. I also really like this, the bonus op. Because you've got Blade Storm, so you could buy up here. Everybody else could still afford a rifle next. And Autumn could just Blade Storm instead. Like, the op on a round like this just catches so many people by surprise. Oh no, he's actually going to use the Blade Storm now. Oh, and he missed. But he knows that he's low. Oh, he just headshots him anyway. What is he on now? Now he is on like 27.5, but there's no time. I was going to say protect the KD, but died to the spike doesn't count as a death, so it would have been fine. But I guess you keep the operator going into a natural like full buy round, so that's good. More rounds, more kills, yeah. The KD goes up, and the kills per round go down.
After 来说，现在确实挺头疼的。这份虽然拿下来了，但是经济并不是很好啊。
I mean, this wall, I just.
也没有暂停可以去调整了。
Why don't they just use this wall? Why is TCH always like trolling? It's just weird shit.
有一个高价低的机会。看一下康康要不要出。这个烟其实是一个陷阱，这个烟有缝。而在另外一边看一下 Smokey 过这个过点的话，应该要给技能的。
I'll take a screenshot of this. Sorry, I missed the up kill because I did it. Of course, I thought I had a moment. What's that wall? I don't know. I just think it's shit. I swear that this part of like TCH's like contract where he's not allowed to do normal walls. Like he does some really interesting walls on Lotus as well. But like against attacking Sol, he was just doing like the normal liquid wall. I call it the liquid wall because that's what they used as well. I can't remember if it was liquid or somebody else. Which I really don't hate. I prefer this wall. I think that this wall is good, but it's a little bit overrated. I think you kind of want like a good split between this one and this one. 就这一份，如果你不强起或者存钱分不翻盘的话，那对手要进入到他们的赛点局了。哇，这里你可以看到，首先是中路，因为 But this looks done. I don't even know where this is going wrong for FPX. They're on an eco now. They still have that operator. They now have a Seekers for Ariang. I think it is just to scare them off like a B execute and then have some like C control. 顶楼止损直接先给出来，而对于 EDG 来说，他们想要去打一波，尝试一下。A 点其实是一个比较固定的斯凯加蝰蛇的一个防守体系。而且这一波方法子 A 区的站位是有所调整的，让阿阳顶到了。阿阳看到了，那这个蛇纹感觉要扑地上了。They have the Viper Orb at least on A. 这个角落还是可以站，而且队友的烟起来了，阿阳可以顺势。I think it is some form of like they want to do this wall. But they can never get there in time, but you can get there. You can put this orb down and then do this wall. Alright, the Sky Flash actually misses. Doing it a second time also misses. So I'd be shocked if they stayed. Lotus want to learn a line. He just wants to make up his own shit, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, the Poison Cloud is on long. Which is also kind of odd. Like, this is against the Deacon. Paranoia is great, actually. It's so far away from Berlin. He was stood here, and it managed to connect across. And then they've used the Seeker, so they know that Smog is left alive. Flawless. Really clean. Really like out of it.
他们在不太确定对面是真打 C 还是假打 C 的情况下，选择了 H 双人组的一个突然前顶，正好是抓到了在 H 外做等待的 Nobody 以及浩东两人，而且看到了爆能器之后，他们也是明确对面只能打 A 了。是。
Can you imagine if the grand final would be FPX versus Rare Atom? Which is like one of the first games of like this event. No, actually never. They never ran into each other. I think the last time they played each other was last act.
而且刚刚有看到奥特曼已经是来到了28个机场，这图一太夸张了。
I mean, this is just
一直没有给到，或者说他们这个
cocky. It feels like. But if they've got that confidence going, it's good because they could get a kill and then they've lost the spike as well. He missed. I'm gonna be able to dash out. Right, I want to see more stuff on C because I want to see what the plan is around this wall. Is it just like a sort of protect backside kind of thing?
把狙捡起来，爆能器是成功安置，
而且有预胜之心，血量可以重新抬回来。那这一分 EDG 是有非常大的机会能够拿下的，而且中路还做了第二手的保障。有人在。
Because here, like, as a retake wall, would you even use it this way? This wall feels like even like getting past this is a little bit awkward.
不过这里是没有人选择第一手的。
You got a lurk as well happening from Shishu.
会达到比较好的效果。
罗瓦里持架，但是被反秒了。
But yeah, I just don't rate this wall in the slightest.
阿阳手上2颗引路之杖好像还没有使用 ，Smoky 先抓一个把 TCH 给打掉了。阿阳补枪是补上了，最后小神位的 pick，Smoky 还是稳住了，拿到了这一波3杀。
I think the only thing that I can see it really working for is if they go for fast execute, you can put up the wall to like protect backside a little bit more. But it didn't really work in that situation because you don't have the Omen there for one. Like, Kung Kung was 4 HP there, so if Lysor could just get a shot on, he's got him.
关键时刻还得是 Smoky 啊 ，Smoky 这一发引路之损，其实导致 Autumn 是没有任何操作空间。对
，like a turret on top of this too.
会迎来一波追分的好时机，手上有非常多的中心技能，还捡到了对面的明狙。在这儿
，it's very odd.
可能是一波明狙的对位哦，康康和 Autumn。 看谁耐不住性子。
Usually, like oh, he's legged Autumn. It's gonna get healed up anyway. It's free over here. Where's the Poison Cloud this time? Is it on long? Is it on short? Is it in his hand? I think it's actually on A. It's on B. Or is that the attack one? Maybe the attack one. This pressure's actually done quite a lot. Berlin's actually just Odin sprayed through this. Because the alarm bot was there, now it's not, it's been broken. I think as soon as that Poison Cloud went up, he just sprayed. But Shishu's actually been able to sneak past it. He does get the kill onto Berlin. Kung's found an opening. Really good, like, double peek onto Autumn. Good round, actually, all things considered. Did we see where the Poison Cloud was, though? There's this one, but that's on attack, surely. I can't see it on the minimap, it's just too low quality. Because I really do like the Poison Cloud here on defense. I think if you're doing this and you're doing this cloud, but that's nice.
主要还是因为对面有明狙，如果说你慢打的话，其实就有点像上半场这种感觉，一直让明狙找到拿击杀的机会，逐步的把人数优势给拉开，你就很难去操作回来了。
I mean, they lose the op on attack. They don't really have the money to buy up again. But it depends where Lysol's going to go here. Right, he's in a good spot to hold on to this gun. Alright. Who picked what map? It's a best of 5, so it's only 2 bans. So Bind was banned out by FPX. Ascent was banned out from EDG. This was the pick of EDG. So it goes Haven, Lotus. Oh god, what's next? Breeze, Sunset, Split. First time out for FPX in our match point. So this was EDG. Hard to see with this. So yeah, EDG went for Haven. Next map is Lotus, which was the pick of FPX. EDG picked Breeze. FPX picked Sunset. And EDG picked... Well, nobody picked this. This was just what was left. Oh, and Sido, yeah, is actually doing his darndest. Also, while they're not here, Sido, do you reckon that we mod Get Deluxe? Like, I'm pretty sure they mod for Sliggy and Sideshow, so it's probably why they're not here at the moment. Yeah, I hear quite a lot, so right. It'd be nice to just have somebody that kind of knows what they're doing. Alongside you, Sido. I'm not saying that you have no fucking clue, but I think, to be fair, with moderating, you don't, so...
又是明居的对位，康康真的很有经验，他是站在了木箱上侧，2次都是这个位置，其实不太会在对手常规的预瞄点上，但给了一发进攻烟。对 Autumn 来说，他的位置仅限于此，就在这个凹槽，对，我就不出来。做了2手准备，开局高闪加一个近点的黑杖。
Also, Sido, if you find some clippable moments, like I think clip them. Cause I have like a little bit of a backlog of like good stream moments. You know, like you could stick them on Twitter or even TikTok. Like I got the one with attacking soul. I think it's HFMI spraying life's corpse. Okay, yeah. If Autumn's just gonna do that, that's okay. Yeah, I think they consistently do the poison cloud on long. Berlin is still here. 2v2. They are gonna suspect him here, surely. I mean, he hasn't been playing here default-wise. Kung's really good read from him. Oh, Berlin's just watching it anyway. Nobody has no idea where Lysos coming from. Like, he really thinks that he's going to come from heaven because this is all blocked off. They're going. They're going. This has worked out fantastically for FPX, though. They've cleared all of it. It's just how they take these fights. Lysa just picks out anyway. I mean, what a performance. Like, FPX, this looked like FPX's worst map outside of Bind. Like, they were banning out Bind. They were second banning Haven out a lot as well. We saw them against Attacking Soul. They got destroyed on it. And you sat there thinking, all right, this is just one of those teams that tries to have 2 bans. And they haven't been punished for it till now. I don't think EDG have lost on Haven since like Champions. Like, I still like FPX winning this best of 5 is very doable anyway. But I didn't expect that this would be a map that they would win. But EDG, they changed over to play the Viper comp. It's looked good. Hasn't looked like crazy amazing. Like, they got scared off a little bit from Attacking Soul, but Attacking Soul battered FPX on this afterwards. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in a row. Last time that they lost was against Loud, 13-11 in playoffs of champs. And before then, it's like the last time they lost was against Liquid at Tokyo. Yeah, everybody else is kind of doing their own thing.
但是个人能力其实这一套阵容并不是那么突出。还有一个点嘛，我觉得今天 Autumn 在第1强线对位的时候真的没有输。他在不管进攻还是防守的时候，进攻的步枪
错点以及防守的明狙架枪都几乎没有失误，唯一的一分我们能够回想起来，可能就是在 C 区的一个前顶空了一个比较简单的枪，但那一分，其实也没有让 EDG 把优势扩大的太多。
是。而对于 FunPlus 来说，他们在掌握了优势之后啊，他们几乎就没有再给到 EDG 任何机会了。
I think the Funk acrobatics is worth clipping. I mean, we weren't really talking about it at the moment, though. That's the thing. I saw that you did clip that, though. I mean, yesterday's stream was just, I guess, like a bit of a different one because it was like me more talking to Sideshow. I felt like more of a guest on Sideshow's stream than doing much on my own, which is like fine by me, honestly. I think most people here like enjoyed it.
OK， 这场比赛的 MVP 将会给到
400 ACS， 4 KD。
228的平均每回合伤害，有一个非常夸张的数据是10次多。
I mean, this is absurd.
是的，就
7个手杀，我觉得对于一个决斗位来说真的太关键
I
了。
mean, we should be pretty quick to get into the next map. I did kind of want to jump into Valorant to actually watch and look at that Viper wall a bit more. Maybe that's on the to-do list for later.
这场比赛感觉像是打通了任督二脉，就每一次的对枪他都能拿到胜利，而且他拥有
30 and 8. Getting 30 kills in 20 rounds is ridiculous.
而确实 Autumn 在近期的状态真的是越来越好了。SVP 这里给到的是球，
Like he got 3 times more kills than Kong Kong.
不过我觉得这一场
Double the ACS.
Nobody 浩东还是没有找到。
So it wasn't first kills. I think this is first kills.
而且我觉得对于 EDG 来说，其实有很多分他们是暂停完回来之后去获取的，但是赢了之后他们有点不知道。
I don't know which is worse, the Haven defense, Lotus defense, Ascent attack, or Sunset defense wall.
安置爆能器上面是有9次安置爆能器，
Rating them,
拿到了其中的8分。
I don't know.
次数更多。
I mean, their Sunset defensive wall isn't anything crazy. Or am I thinking of Rare Atoms, actually?
对，
所以其实你可以看一下，除开这2分，真正靠战术运
Might be
营
thinking of Rare
得分
Atoms.
数真的不多，
可能就4、5分左右。
Where is Valorant? I always like lose it.
体系上面 FPX 他们打得太久了，
Where is
他们
it?
也太懂这个阵容要怎么去应
It's
对。
always like on the other monitor.
EDG 的自选图
I need to just
成功拿下。
set this display X. It's
第二
on
张地图来到他们的强势
this
莲花古城
every
来说
time.
将是一个非常好的消息。他们这个阵
There we
容
go.
体系感觉在莲花古城是
Go back to chat.
其次就是他们选手的状态
So
也是在蒸蒸日上，而对 EDG 来
their
说
Haven
确实需要
wall
去好好调整。他
was
们
like
在
this.
感觉还没有走出
Like
像
from
昨天
here, I think it
比赛失利
was.
的阴影。他们这个阵容配合其实也是没有打得非常好。他
And
们
then
给了
goes
机会
like
给到对方
pretty much
我
across
觉得
that.
FPX 他们这种阵容的一个打法真的非常的成熟了。其实最让我感觉到比较厉害的就是他们在进攻的时候，对于防守这把明区的规避做的真的非常好。
是的，对于两支队伍来说也是需要一些休息的时间。
Because what I don't really like about it
马上回来
is I think it's good for like B retakes. But here you can't really fight for Nest, it feels like. Like you have the wall that can sort of protect you at this point. And like for here, for retake, retaking this is, I guess, pretty good afterwards. But most teams are going to go for like a plant here anyway. And we never really saw it used for like retakes as such. I think this is like an in-game kind of thing that we need to go for. For Lotus, see as we're going on to it, I guess we'll talk about it a bit more. Their attack wall is like here, across there, and like this. And then they have the poison clouds here. And I think one of the reasons why I like it, especially if you're playing against teams that want to like fight for it on defense, you can't really stand here and fight. Like this, literally this angle is really good because you can sort of like be on an off angle to catch anybody that's in A main. Just because the turnaround actually of these games, I'm going to run some ads so people don't get them in the middle of the game, so don't be annoyed. You can sub, you can ad block, you can do whatever to avoid them. Probably not the fucking Valorant gameplay now. So that's the one that they have on attack. I think might be a slight bit like this. I don't think it's across this way. I think it's like on the inside, so you can like do a bit of a bind, waltz up to here kind of thing. And their defense wall is quite literally on the same line as the attacker wall that we see. Because a common attacker wall is like this one. And FPX just like copy it back. I think it cuts across there. It might be like a little bit deeper onto this. That looks more wrong actually. I think it's there. Because I think the key part of like Lotus fighting on attack and defense is like this spot. And you'll notice it when you see Autumn on defense fight for this space a little bit more. Like where he fights on the angle is quite literally on where both the Viper's pits are. So when they come up, they come between the legs. It's like a Marilyn Monroe moment for Neon. Oh, and that's just like time to get out. It is just really interesting, I suppose, to see him like cut under the wall overall. Suffered guitar for 100k challenge points. Hey Breeze, is it Breeze? Your name reminds me of the CS player Breezy. The Breeze new. Yeah, good morning. If you've just come in watching this game, FPX are 1-0 up, which is a big surprise. If you've just come in from another streamer that's been watching and just wanted to pop by and say hello, we were talking a little bit about the Viper walls because DCH is on something. He's on something to come up with some of these like wall ideas that he has. Leonard Brezhnev. So is it like Brezhnev? Yeah, he's on PRX something. Alright, EDG, they came back to this comp after trying Astra Omen in Act 2. They're currently 1-1. They lost against Rare Atom yesterday, who are like decent on this map. But FPX are dominant on it. They're like 9-3 now throughout all of the Evolution series. They did lose yesterday, however, to Trace. And it looked really iffy. Teams have learned how to sort of deal with it at this point. FPX have gone for a very different wall. I mean, Sideshow's going to be a little bit happier because Sideshow wanted to just see the normal wall back. But you got the Killjoy turret playing on the back side. You got the Neon pushing in this space. Also, I don't know how loud the audience is in comparison to me. Feels like it's a little bit too loud. There we go. Tap it down. I think this is specifically for the EDG execute that they have. And then just a lot of crazy fights. Just in a second, just everything's gone to pot. Yeah, very loud today. I mean, they have to be. They're down. 1-0 down. Yeah, quite literally, FPX's defensive wall is on the same line as this. The combo is so good. I started doing that a little bit more yesterday, actually, because I played a bit of ranked with the Gecko. Just the Dizzy and the Wingman going out together as a double, like a double whopper. Clears high, clears close. Yeah, they've gone back to this wall. This was the attack pistol wall that EDG were using before. So I think that's why we saw a different like wall across from FPX last round. Because they were worried about this. And they go for the execute and then they have Smoggy, they have Kung Kung path to secret with a shorty. And they leave people there. Also, I like this wall because it actually does get into this a bit more. Because you'll see a lot of Vipers just sort of sit and hold like here for any aggression. And they can't really do that with this part of the wall too. That's Spike too. TZH just got Guardian. Guardian in tree is a pretty scary thing to be having. Alright, nice. Just a 1 kill. How did Berlin die? Where was he? Here? I think he was just sprayed behind the box. I guess we'll see it in a second. Yeah. I mean, there's always a player that tries it. The way that I've been approaching it, at least, is I tend to always cheer against EDG. Like, for the China tournaments, because I do want to see other teams get up to EDG's level. Granted, I think that this is more EDG slipping because they're trying different things. And they're taking their foot off the pedal a little bit, let's be honest. They've been playing really hard all year. But I think, like, if we go to the Africa tournament that EDG are at, and they're the only Chinese team, I'll be cheering massively for EDG, you know? So far, they've been clearing up on this defense. TZH, this is kind of the fights that I think EDG are going to be really good at dealing with. Because this is space that TZH is always going to, like, aggressively fight for. I think at this point, with the 12 times that we've seen FPX run this map as a pick and run this comp, they're very readable. Like, I've barely looked into specifics on what they're doing on certain rounds, and I feel like I can read them pretty well. The audience cheering because they're saving is pretty funny. FPX always have horrible stats though on their defense. Like, I swear, like on Lotus, they're always like 4-0, 5-0 down. Because there'll be a 4-0, well, 4-0, 5-0. There'll be a timeout from FPX. They'll probably use both their timeouts in the first half. Like, for these teams, it's like who's attacking first just is going to like run away with it. I think Lotus is the same thing as Haven, where if you're a team that pick it a lot, if you pick Lotus, I think it's a mistake for the side. Like, if Team A picks Lotus, Team B, most used to pick defense because they thought the defense was easier. But no, actually, at round 3 timeout. Which I don't think is too surprising. Also, it is funny that he's not really saying anything, so it could be a tech. A nice playable map. Yeah, Lotus is probably the most popular map in the game right now. In pro scene. I think considering that like Ascent is the map that everybody likes to play and pick, the problem with Ascent is it's very outside of China, like feels very defense-sided. So if you pick Ascent, then the other team is going to pick to defend first, and so you need to attack first, which can be really tough. Feels like a bit of a trap, really. But I think the FPX's defensive side with a lot of stuff, like even on Ascent, when they lost to Trace on Ascent, it was the third map and they chose to defend first. And Trace just kind of ran over them a little bit. But then against, who did they play? Attacking Soul? It was the third map and they chose to attack first. And it looked so much better. Good aggression. Saw a little bit of this last time from FPX where they kind of pushed from A. Similar sort of vibe. Can't really pick up the Dizzy here though, however. You lose Kung Kung and you lose Autumn. But the good thing is that you're pushing him into TCH. Prowler just misses him too. He's got the Poison Cloud cutting off Tree. Playing behind the default box is nice though. You just don't really expect it. And then this has to be properly cleared. Shishu's in such a good spot though. At least Lysol clears it. Unfortunate fight against nobody, all things considered, because he's 14 HP because of the Nano Swamps too. Like, you just peek out as he moves too. Makes taking a fight really difficult. Good hold from Haodong too. Like, knowing that like one of the strengths to this defensive wall is this like rotation in. So really good hold. Really good read again from EDG. Like FPX maybe looking a little bit too obvious with some of their plays now. Because they have been playing it a lot. They've been playing a weird comp, so they don't really have as much of a deeper playbook, I suppose, with how they adjust. Especially when they're committed to doing kind of odd things. But these situations aren't too uncommon for FPX. Like, I'm pretty sure like all of the maps recently that they've had on Lotus, they've been 5-0, 6-0 down, that they've had comebacks from, or just lost them like they did yesterday. This coach looks very young. I have no idea. I'd say for me, like, a lot of the players and coaches look young anyway. Alright, they're on an eco, they're doing like the free player push. Really nice just for EDG to, again, not really fuck about. Try and go for a BXQ. Maybe there's a little bit of fucking about here. You give Lysor a fight, they're clearing secret, they're planting underneath heaven. I don't know what you really call this plant spot. Or maybe bowl or something. 3 players pushing behind, they're gonna break the turret. Dizzy and Hunter close. Are they gonna be able to, are they gonna go to pick it up again? No. See, I'm greedy. I always pick up the Dizzy stuff, but it's because you never really get punished for it. Wingman doesn't do as much as you're hoping. Aang's gonna stick to get half. Oh, and Smoggy actually just clears them. There's a 1 versus 3. Call it depression. Well, because it's low. Oh, he just gets the kill. Ayang got him down to 12 HP. Alright, I want to see how TCH deals with this. Like the 2 walls, like crossing over a little bit more. They've gone for the weird setup again from Lysor. Can he? Does he have the alarm bot? He must do. Because he's got the turret in the usual spot. Oh, the alarm bot is pretty much right on where Autumn is stood. Oh no, that's an Astra Smoke, sorry. So now he's got this. There it is. And so he's put it on stairs. There's 3 people just anchoring on A. They get Kung Kung. They're expecting a Nightfall. Autumn gets the lurk from Shishu. There's 3 people here already on site. So this is a hell of a read from TCH and the rest of FPX. Really nice.
FPX 真的很懂怎么去拿捏节奏和主动权，在对面 EDG 就是
Yeah, I think probably such as not.
40秒左右的时候，他们选择在1分
I'm in the Discord and he's not trying, so I'll just leave him to it.
拿到了2个关键击杀，而且也逼迫到了 EDG 必须要去做提速。
TCH 这一波主动啊往外拉烟的行为。
I'm trying to think of a lot of what Sacha was talking about yesterday and sort of how there's been an adjustment. I think just this has been... I think this whole setup just sort of allows for a bit more of like the jump peeking, being able to like actually fight and spot this. And I don't know whether it's just a read of the game or general discipline protocols for FPX. Like, the fact that there's so much like freedom to just chill here. Oh, Kung Kung deals with that. They have to give this up. There's nothing to break it now. They have to respect this. Pushing up CT now. Different plant actually, like right in this corner. He's 27. Yeah, that's pretty young for a coach. There's just no way in. You have Thrash, but would you use it now? Like, I mean, it looks like just saving like exit frags. Just holding the line. If the turret goes off, 2 people will peek, but nobody else is good CT. But you're up against, what, the showstopper got used there, found impact. Killjoy got used. It's a shame they used the Neon ultimate, but, I mean, it's not a major ultimate that you need to be playing around that much, is it? Like, you can just throw it out if you want to try and catch people by surprise. Who is the youngest Valorant coach? I know it for CS. In Tier 1, probably still Salah for Vitality. I think he's like 22. Another timeout. Using both your timeouts in the first half, but using both your timeouts round 7, I think we're on. Using 2 timeouts. Round 8, sorry. My mistake. Both timeouts by round 8 is crazy. Is that nobody is a somebody? Salah's 23 now. Yeah, I wasn't too far off. People age, I guess. So this game is on now. Let me just bash these out. Because I think for like the last 3 Lotus games, Lotus 4-0 down, pull it back against Attacking Soul. Actually have a really dominant first half. I did not have any problems there. It's the EDG here, 7-0 down, pull it back. Hey, some dude. Have you been watching this game so far? Have you just tuned in? Because even at this point, I don't think it's meaning a 1-1 scoreline yet. Just tuned in. Yeah, so FPX are actually 1-0 up, which is surprising. First map was EDG's choice. They went Haven. And FPX kind of destroyed them. Autumn had a god tier game. With 400 ACS. And he was, what, 30-8? Did he finish on? In a 20-round game, it was 13-7. Okay, yeah, they're just all going to run into Berlin like that. All right. All right, nice response. Berlin also is kind of like the MVP player on this map, I think. I'm guessing this is Berlin. Yeah.
我觉得这个位置打的稍微有点太简单了。浩东岛在我们的
I mean, I think before then he was only on 2 kills. Like nobody's getting anything done in here. They have the op now though on defense. I think they had the op actually a couple of rounds ago too. TZH and Autumn are fighting this, very aggressively fighting this, because they're doing the Viper's pit play. They even yeeted the Dizzy. They haven't been able, like, they've lost the Dizzy now to take this space. Yeah, EDG, yeah, I mean, maybe more people are turning up. Yeah, audience is really good.
首先你得先拿下点，你看才开回复才会有这个意义。然后另外一个就是对面是有无敌超杀的，看一下这把狙，小神卫 pick 已经看到了，求救补枪是补一个，但 Autumn 还有直架的机会。
All right, Kung finds an opening with the attack up over on C. Oh, and they know that TZH is going to do that. So again, a good read. The TZH, if he's up this aggressively, he's going to try and flank around. So they just sit and wait for him. Planting safe because they're worried about waterfall. Then Konko's watching CT. Yeah, really unlucky. There's just so much pressure happening towards B that they don't really know what to do with it.
说实话打得有点无奈，我觉得方法斯姆的站位设计已经非常好了，在 B 区这里是一个上下的双架，而且让拿着步枪的人占了一个更靠外的身位，对，把人吸引。
Like usually this is the more chaotic. Well, I think the like A can be pretty chaotic. Fighting for this early. C is just kind of like a pull of like who's actually fighting for it. And B, when you have this like Viper wall, it tends to be fairly like standard. It's just like if you've got the turret, putting it somewhere where it can like actively watch and not get cleared easily. It's just such a good trade. It wasn't even on the plate, it was opping. He's very, very back and forth at the moment. Despite the scoreline being really dominant for EDG, last few rounds have been very good. But the problem really is that what Rare Atom did really well against EDG on their defense was stalling out time. Like Rare Atom also won a couple of defuses as well. EDG ran out of time like 3 times, I think, on attack. Because Rare Atom were reading it and rotating to the right place. But this is still so awkward to deal with, especially when you got the Shishu lurk. Like with this comp and idea, FPX are just like they have 3 people rotating over to A. And they still need to be really careful of how Shishu's playing this. If Shishu does something like opening the door here, it could just throw this all off whack for FPX. They've got 2 stuck on the A site. Yeah, they're just gonna go for this like kind of like pivot to A. They missed a shot to Shishu. But then EDG actually turn it around again. They go towards A. But they still just like lose out these fights, despite the thrash being used and suppressing a couple. I think it might have just been 1 Kankan actually. Big fight to win, 2 versus 4 however though. Are they going to use Viper's Pit? Nobody doesn't look like he's going to. And I don't think they need to. Yeah, they're just gonna save. Yeah, just like lack of information here. Just not sure how they want to go about it. And good for nobody to actually just sort of push and fight this up. Just keep the money tight for FPX.
留一手能把自己的枪保下来就算不错。但是看一下这个对枪，没对赢，明军是直接被 smoke。
Like they're pinging B main now.
哇，这里柏林的这个，我觉得他的想法是想得很好的，他也猜到了 EDG 可能会转石门，所以他提前过来蹲守了。但问题石门碎得太快了，他那个烟还没有完全起来，自己位置直接被找到了。
他有一点犹豫，感觉他犹豫的就是这个门碎的一瞬间，他到底是选择直接架，还是说要把这个烟给出来？
我觉得他其实就是想的，我。
Lyso there? I mean, yeah. They're still like half armoring, and they've got full loss bonus, so they can kind of keep this going. Kung has the attack up, he's 10 and 5. Artemis at the bottom now. Can't really replicate what he just did on Haven. 4 pushing up on A. Shishu again is just like clearing utility. Yeah, killing him with Dead Recon. And he's not close to getting an ultimate either, so...
Nobody 也是没办法了。
那 C 区应该要提了，就看这把判官能够接几个。
而现在 EDG 少了 Nobody 之后，对 A 点的。
Shishu's still here, needs to be respected. 2 players pushing up. TCH is in a good spot he likes to be in. Alarmbot is also in deep too.
3个人。
是把判官，是把判官，判官有说法。
All right, Berlin gets 1. Knows that there's another. Manages to get a rifle out. I think actually having like he's. What, got the operator of all fucking things. Like, uses the cosmic divide to put these off. Lovely double stack. But this is where, like, Rare Atom were really good against EDG. Like, when there's a bit more resistance and forcing them to kind of make awkward choices. I don't really like the fighting like this, because Smokey's not been too far off. But he tries to go for the wide peak to isolate these 2 players, but luckily Ian kills him. Got a wingman, got a dizzy that they could just yeet out of this door too. There it is. 2 players peeking either side of the door is nice. Yeah, I mean, I still think that EDG wins this series. I think it'd be a massive surprise to see them lose against FPX in the best of 5. Because FPX, I think, have a fairly weak map pool. Double operator now. Triple operator, because this is China. Yeah, they are just going for the troll triple operator. Alright, 1. These players gonna back off, run away. TCH is another operator. Gets out-upped by Kung Kung. He's gonna showstop, but nobody else is here. It's just TCH. So a complete open, like, A execute. 2 out of 3 ops are still alive. I mean, trying to hold off on some of these, like, attacks. Good. But retaking, luckily they've been able to pick up a rifle. I think Berlin had it, like, on site. Is the retake? Doesn't actually get onto where Kung Kung is. Like, gets it a little bit late. Also, Haodong, did it not hit him either? Like, was he behind the box and then TP'd up? 2v2, but it's a Viper's Pit. Nobody's in a really good spot. Sprayed actually through from Autumn that just gonna take him out. Yeah, really good half for EDG. This isn't too surprising though for FPX on their defense, so I'm not saying that this is done and out just yet. Yeah, it's round 12, so last round of the half. Yeah, he didn't actually get hit. I think like we went to somebody's POV that was hit by it. Like maybe we just quickly check. So where are we at? Here. So the Omen is on top of the box here. So Kung Kung doesn't get hit by it. Yeah, it's Haodong. Haodong is fully like hit by this. But he does get like killed and at least traded. So I guess any Gekkomans need to watch out if they're doing it from CT. That I mean, that off angle seems like one of the best places to play from. Like, it's like this is sandwich. You got the two things. You got like default box, like this position watching for CT, and then you probably have somebody tree watching for draw. Like having one here and then the omen like on top of this box too is also really nice. Pretty good like post plan positions I think for Lotus. Hero Martinez. It's not actually showing up on the prompter with my own emotes, which is it's a shame. Not that popular enough to be on there, I guess. Also use this as an opportunity to go see what's happening on YouTube, because I haven't looked in the YouTube chat. Nothing actually. If you're in the YouTube chat, say hello if you want to. There's 30 people watching, which is kind of impressive. Thank you for tuning in. See, funnily enough, those ones show. It's just the Ryan central, well, the central what one. But the animated one's not working isn't too much of a surprise. Yeah, the others are a little bit odd, I guess. Alright, the FPX wall. My beloved. Yeah, that one works too, so yeah. EDG going for like usual setup. A deep turret just to see if anything happens. Like, 'cause if these guys go back to C and our turret goes off, it means that early rotations can come in. So I think that's nice. This is like a small little... Was it a paranoia from Howdon? Yeah, it was. All of the players are just kind of stuck here now in stairs. I guess that is a bit of a problem with this wall. I mean, listen to how loud the audience is. This was the map that was created by one of the X-Valve map makers, right? I should know his name. You're thinking of Volcano. I don't think this map was. Like the smoke across here. This just felt like a really good read again from EDG. The problem with FPX's wall is because it cuts across more tree. That like going stairs. Like it's really good for taking this space, but not good for like this little area. Like the wall does stop you from playing like these positions, like what FPX were doing on their defense. But if you just play and stack like two people here, there's not really too much that they can do. I mean, it could be. I just don't... I think that Volcano's gone into more of like a high producer role for maps than anything. I don't know. I'll have to ask Sapphire, actually. Yeah, Volcano did cash in CS. I mean, you get a plant for FPX, you get a kill. So it's not completely flawless. Yeah, this round and this map not being that close, which is a shame because I like some of the stuff that FPX do on it. Like the Gecko's kind of neat. Some of the walls that TCH do are like, they're different. I don't think they're bad because they're different, but it definitely feels like them doing some stranger stuff by playing the Gecko, by doing these kind of Viper walls. Just makes it very difficult to adjust in other aspects of it. Season 8 stops this. Yeah, so much pressure on this now. They use the Dizzy here, like they just bounce it off this wall and go back.
要给小严，想要去骗一下技能，但是很稳定，没有选择给。哦，炮台已经响了。
Good to see sort of where people are. It's a shame they can't break the turret like this, but that's kind of expected. They know that there's one mid 2 from the Prowler. And TCH has not really dealt with this at all. In fact, they've put an alarm bot here. Like, usually TCH will just hold this and maybe try and lurk up later, but he hasn't been able to do anything thus far. They're even pinging it for danger. 30 seconds though. You've got 2 players going towards A. You've got 3 players going towards C. They're trying to fake it towards A to pull rotations, but I don't think it's going to work. But these guys are still just sort of staying where they are. And I mean, Chichu, yeah, is just holding. Like, when this is taken so aggressively from EDG in like the first 10 seconds, feels like FPX can't really go anywhere off the back of it. Yeah, and you just run out of time. What Rare Atom were doing to EDG yesterday, EDG are basically now doing to FPX. We've only seen 3 rounds of their defense, but yeah, EDG have not really had any holes, kind of like Martinez is saying. But I also feel like FPX have just been like starved this map. Like, I feel like we've not really been able to see FPX like break through a choke and like fight people. You got a node in towards A. I mean, this is a really good answer, I think, to this wall too, because it's so scary to play in these kind of spots. But if you've just got a node, like if you're here and this wall goes up, you can just Odin spray this. You'll probably catch something. Like, free space sort of taken towards C. Kokung loves that position with the operator. Crash is going to be used. Nobody else is on site even. Like, the neon stuns have a grab as well. So the neon stuns feeling like a bit of a mistake to try and catch somebody there. The Astrograv could have, like, would have been Berlin. So again, like, it sort of feels like the pathing for even the Thrash. Like, everybody backed out on site. They did all die, and the spike has been planted, but still EDG felt like they read that really well. You've got a lurk on a lurk. So Berlin's not been able to find anything there. Scary position for Autumn to be in, because this door's going to get broken. Both got CT. So they know that there's one behind, one CT. Both of them are just required to win out their duels. And yeah, good from Autumn. Pretty much doubled his kills, I'm pretty sure, this game, from that round alone. Neon acted like he was a killjoy turret, yeah. 在守点的过程当中，稍微有点尴尬，是传到高箱上的好多是一把奥丁，他位置一旦被获取到了之后，他因为奥丁需要一个预热的时间，而对面打他可能只需要一发。是的。I also thought it was kind of clever actually that Howdong TP's on top of the box, because the Thrash isn't going to be able to really spot him. 输的点位相当于是直接翻给对手了。而这一分过后，因为上一把起到了一把奥丁，起了一把明狙 ，might be able to see it. 经济的消耗有点大，不过分差还是足够多的。这波 TCH 是来到一个比较远的位置进行直架，但是 EDG 感觉有可能要抱团吗？没有了。Got the alarm bot. TCH is still just waiting there. So now he hears the footsteps running back. It's a bit of a fake. This is an eco now for EDG, so FPX should be able to make this 5. Good though from FPX. Like, this is the kind of thing that you kind of want to be seeing a bit more aggression. If you could break the turret on top of this, You've seen their pressure towards A, you've held for it. Yeah, like you see this like line that Kung's like fighting on. See how it's along where this Viper wall is? Like fighting here when you actually have like a rifle, for example, is just too difficult. Played well. There's no real trade as well because the wall's a lot like shallower. I mean, the actual pistols have done some real rough stuff, and they're not clearing like sandwich. Nobody gets free before he's actually traded out, so now it's down to a 1 versus 1. Shishu, can he actually pick up a gun? We can, there should be enough around. Yeah, Autumn played really well last map.
骗的感觉，迷惑性，对，很有迷惑性，所以球球现在对于柏林的位置反而是有点拿捏不到了。哎呀，转了一圈，球球发现自己被骗了。是的，时间不够了。那没时间了。最后对枪。Ooh, wasn't expecting just Berlin to be out like that. I mean, time was going to be low anyway. Yeah, good anti-eco, I think, for FPX, really. A little bit scary, I think, with nobody getting 2 kills there. Like, the snake bite that comes in is just too good. Hey, Ryans. 这波蹦的器的位置加上给他一个星云，也确实把球球给骗到了。诺帕迪刚才为什么鬼面能点2个，是因为他扑了一发蛇吻，对面趟着一损过来的，一发头部命中是210的伤害。这个下了4把枪，对于 EDG 来说是可以接受的。诺帕斯现在经济没有攒起来，也给到了一个高点位的丢丢，来找一下看 C 大会不会有人往前顶。哇 ，C 区一瞬之间就形成3人的重防，并且上一分康康的玩烟火没有交啊，这边。 两边的终极技能都很多，直接给到了一个幸运，还是想要利用这个消散来去骗啊。消散能不能骗到技能？骗不到。现在 FunPlus 想要找一下康康的站位，因为他们这种一波流的进攻很怕撞到晚安焰火上面，是，特别是飞起来的人。康康主动晚安焰火过来，要找人能找到吗？找到了，炸！ 把阿阳给炸掉了。可以接受，因为阿阳是带着终极技能倒的。I don't think all pistols should get that close unless ults are involved. Yeah, but it is like a big game. Mistakes happen. And like EDG had the right read on it. Because this wall I think is really good for Anticos because you can just play it super safe. Like you clear tree properly. You can get the wingman to plant here. You don't need to worry about some cheeky like pistols on site. But EDG had the right read, I suppose. Like, it was more of a risk from them to have 2 people in tree, but it worked out. I mean, and then they just mowed people down. Good map from EDG. Like, Lotus is always a tricky one, because it feels like everybody can play it. Yeah, so we're 1-1 now. And both teams winning on each other's map picks too. This isn't a final, it's a lower bracket final. It's still a best of 5 though. So this is the lower bracket final today, and then it's grand final tomorrow. Tomorrow with Rare Atom. Oh, we got some time before I need to run ads, so I do want to... Like, is this working on stream, by the way? You can see everything in this. Lotus. 而这一套阵容对于 FunPlus 来说，他们在防守最难受的点是什么？因为他们是一个单先锋盖克，他们拿信息的能力。See if we can get this wall like nailed down. 跳皮球去拿信息，那对 EDG 来说，刚刚进攻起民局，或者是去让球球单摸，去找到一些对手回旋跳的机会，先创造人数上的优势，然后再去进点。Because I need to do this kind of stuff more anyway. Who's locking in the grand final? You mean who's there already? Or who do I think is going to win out of these 2? This Rare Atom that's in at the moment. Yeah, Rare Atom. They beat EDG yesterday 2-0.
Wait, so the attack wall is like here? Like this? Let me just double check it. Where's... It's not up on here. Share X. And see what that wall is. I didn't take a screenshot of it, actually. I mean, I can just grab it off the stream, I guess. Let's turn this down a tad. So, about here. And then just do this. Put it live again. Right, so... I hate that that doesn't actually make that bigger for some reason. It's a small picture. Okay, so it's across on the other side. Like here. Cuts across this. I'm trying to think of like where it like connects. It sort of connects onto this. More like that, I guess. About there. Is that good? Maybe a bit more that way. Probably have to look up as well just to make sure it goes for everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they do it so commonly on here. Just like this. So I guess the point I wanted to make is no shopping restrictions. There we go. Like, fighting on this angle is just really difficult if they put up this wall. But it can, especially when you got the orb there too. The only problem is it's just it's actually hard to get through like this way. Also, I don't understand like why in the custom server you can't just have the Viper wall up the whole time. Or that there's no cooldown on the utility. Like, you can sort of just kind of get across here. It's so risky though. And then you could actually like take this fight early. And then if they're on top of this, you can like fight it and clear it. Because you never really see FPX doing like this, for example. Sometimes they do it with a snake bite. But usually if they're like clearing this spot, they're clearing it because there's like two people up here that they can get right onto the lip and spot if there's an omen there, for example. So yeah, like I guess it's good at like cutting off this. And then if you're just going for like an execute, put this wall up. Probably wouldn't put it up at the same time because you'd like dizzy this. Just to clear these kind of like angles. And then you can wingman plant here. On defense, however, I can't recall it until it's recharged, which again is kind of weird. Get the defensive wall. And then just put that on in the background. So defensive wall, I think it's kind of like here. So it's just from like outside of this. Oh. There we go. We call it back. It's like down here. It goes through that box, goes through there. I think that's about as close as it's gonna get. So again, it's just sort of like, it's weird because it feels like more of an attacking wall, really. But if they're trying to do this wall, get through, you can't hold this angle. And maybe go there. It's very odd for them to do this as a defensive wall. I think one of the main reasons is that they can break this, which they do consistently, and then they can just fast rotate. They have like the killjoy turret that's watching across here, which will catch any attackers that try and do this. So they have good information on it. And then it feels like a pretty good retake wall too. Because if they just go straight A and like smoke all of this off, you can have defenders come through this way as well. You cut off any players that are like playing. I can't ping for some reason. Why can't I ping? But these sort of spots, like here, and like if you're retaking from sight, like it's good to be able to like clear it this way. Because I think the main thing that they do as well is they put the Viper's wall here, so no fuel to show it here. So I think it's like more of a retake wall than anything. and it's somewhat adjacent for them to play around on defense. Like, because Autumn likes to play here, for example. TCH would even play like here. But just like really crazy off angles. Because he might take a fight and be like, oh shit, puts this up. Like, my snake bite this. And then he's pretty much out. But it is just kind of crazy that this wall is so like attacking favored too. I just sort of see it aerially. So I stop doing that. But it stops just kind of makes it very difficult for attackers, I suppose, to like really just get that space. And like with the defenders having a poison cloud here, a lot of, can I just recall that as well? Because a lot of controllers will either smoke this. There we go, I can do that now. They'll either smoke that with like an Omen or an Astra, or just pick up the Viper's Orb from here at the start of the round and throw it there. So if they do try to smoke off screens, putting up this wall just means that like, all right, you can take like this space, really. You getting through onto sight off the back of it is kind of a challenge. So I think that this wall is like weaker for fighting for A main, but it's much better like mid to late round. The risk, of course, is if there's no utility over here to sort of help it, attackers can lurk up to here, which is why you had a lot of pandemonium on B, because the B players were constantly dealing with like a late lurk here because there was no lockdown, there's no Viper wall that you'd usually have there to watch it. And then they sometimes have to turn around and check for something like this. So, yeah. Pretty interesting, I think, all things considered. Before we get into the map, shit, I kind of have to do the ads now. It's about to start, so I guess we're going to have to deal with like pre-rolls now. Maybe I'll try and do it for halftime a bit more.
而且他们有一个，就他们的双烟是选择了在一个烟里面，主烟是选择了一个球形烟，给到了星坠，这个还是比较少见的。而 EDG 这边的话，是一套相对来说他们非常熟悉的双强型烟，可以说是。对，甚至还有一首。
Yeah, it's a bit sort of like later in the game kind of thing. For FPX on this map, I don't think they've really played that much Breeze. They played it once with the Rays. So, I only played this comp once. EDG have played this a fair few times. Have they lost, actually? I don't think they've ever lost. Trace, Takasol, DRG, Edward Gaming, VALORANT team, stats. So IPX won map 1 on Twitter. How is the match? Yeah, it's been really good. Like, we saw a bit more Lotus from FPX and they lost it. For Breeze, okay. Yeah, the only teams that they've lost to were DRX with this comp. In China, they're undefeated. But I also don't think that we've really seen it that much, to be honest. Where we are? Where's even the game? Oh, the game is in just another tab. Alright, here we go. Can't know for them, it is just too good. Astro and Breeze, yeah. I mean, Xset used to run it, I'm pretty sure. I do really like the Rays on this map, though. Oh man, that's a whiff. I mean, I'm a big fan of Harbor Viper, though. Like, I definitely need to bully Pinkley into learning Harbor. I'll put more time into it. I don't know what you'd really run on Breeze, though, for like us. I volunteer instead of Cypher. I mean, for us on Breeze, like, the roles are kind of weird, aren't they? Because I'm not gonna leak it. So what? Like you got Duelist, Initiator, Flex, Controller, Sentinel. I mean, Cypher still feels too good to not play on this map. And so I think you need the Silver to deal with the Cypher, and then the Cypher anyway. And then you need the Viper as like a main controller, but like maybe it's like Harbor Viper here. You don't have any flashes though. Like, you don't have a Sky, you don't have a KO. And then most likely Jet. So you got Harbor Viper, like you kind of got this, not this comp at all actually, but you got Chaos Silver. You got this comp, except you have Harbor and then you have Jet. Yeah, just casually throwing the Euro as if that was, you know. Alright, Kung Kung is on the full buy at least. What about Sky instead of Silver? I mean, I still prefer the Silver instead of Sky. Just for like the recons, like the timing of them, shock dart in Cypher trips on your way in onto a site. I also don't really just like, I think the Gecko on this map feels like it shouldn't make sense, but it seems to. EDG doing a wall from like a really odd part here actually. I think that might just be under stairs. KO gets so much information. Like a good spray through too. Like I think also like with Harbor comps to try to do this whole like A split business, like having a KO here is so important. Don't like this Viper wall. Never have. It's so weird watching like FPX because they have some like really unique, interesting walls that they've come up with, but then everything else is like Viper walls from like 3 years ago. They're trying to go for a B execute. Lysol is fully flashed, just doesn't realize that he's there. Quite literally right in his face. Euro is good. I mean, I don't like him on this map that much. I don't like Euro in pro play much anyway. There's some really unique stuff that you can do, obviously, but I think it too easily becomes formulaic. I don't like it because of Lotus. I mean, but yeah, you got like Forsaken Euros, Tens Euro. What is watch streak? I don't know actually. How many streams that you've watched for? I don't know. Twitch always comes out with some weird stuff. It could be a stream elements thing too. Yeah, I wonder what it's going to be like a game change, just to be fair. Streams in a row, okay. Raze is satcheled up. I think that's why so many teams are moving away from the Jet on this map. Like the Neon does it and the Raze does it. Like how quickly you can go from elbow to jump up on here or on here. It's pretty big. Alright, Berlin just sprays across. I think this is the first bit of breeze that we've seen from EDG this act. Like, I don't think we've seen it an awful lot. Just skill through snap, Christ. Recon actually misses all of those players. Thrash is used as well from Smoggy. How have they turned this around? I mean, what was that? Like 5v3? Could have even been a 5 versus 2. I think it was a lot of it was off the back of that recon dart not catching anybody. I mean, how many kills were through smokes? Yeah, there was a recon dart that went onto danger, but I don't know if it was too high or just missed a lot of like close corners. Another early FPX timeout. But I think this one makes sense because like FPX have not played this map all that much, and then EDG haven't played it since Act 2 in the lower final. And this was like their main pick for the most part, so a lot of it was 2v4. True. I mean, yeah, you can't be like, oh, they had 5 alive versus 3. How did they fuck it up? When, well, who is it? TCH just dies for a smoke. Looking at the map, looking at the ultimates. FPX making a call, see if there's anything that they want to change up, anything that the coaches read. EDG just like, okay, what do they have? What do we have? How can we screw them over? Because they have null command and Seekers, Neon null. Actually, it was Berlin that died. No, it wasn't Berlin that died for the smoke. Sorry, it's not Berlin that's playing Astra, that's why. The Lysol's on the Viper. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. If nobody's fragging, nobody dies. Yeah, just a play on words that you can come up with. Same with something. A-splits are good, not great dizzy, but it's in a good position where you can just pick it up anyway. TCH just waiting in a great spot from him. He does get traded out. Smoggy dies though too. So null command is actually going to be used from here. Just gets domed by Haodong, but at least that's good information. Know that there's a player stare. Awkward fight. I mean, Autumn is the classic in hand. And like the low buy actually works out quite well. Null command was good there. Just give him enough life to sort of take a peek and just go down. And Mr. Chaos is Breeze pro play. I don't know how much of it is to do with new Breeze, but watching this like meta of Breeze so far, at least since the map has been back, like it's been a lot more enjoyable. Because the map is a bit more like varied in like what you can do compositionally. It's not the same comp, especially with Chamber meta Breeze. That was just the worst. Yeah, way less stale. But I don't think that's to do with the map. I think that's more to do with the meta. As soon as people work out what the meta is, though, it could get really boring after a while. Again, like recon that maybe to sort of clear close elbow at this corner. Some really peculiar recons. Skydog used on B. Astra Smoke just watching and taking the fight. Really good movement from Kong Kong. KO Knife gets him, but he's already picked up a gun at that point, and so he gets taken out. Like, I hope we see that from Kong Kong's POV, because that was absurdly good movement. Hang across backside. Nice fights from Autumn. His showstopper is a nade. Oh, he dies to the snake bite though. She's used delaying this really nicely. I think they just get it for time. Yeah. Okay, so time's alright. A little bit panicky, I think, for FPX there, just because of how they were. Like, Autumn goes for the defuse when he's like 1 HP. And he still had like a nade. He still had utility to use. Yeah, look at this. Use the Hunter's Fury and Autumn just wins some nice fights. Lysol's doing a really good job of like clearing up mid too. Like if they do go for these A splits, Lysol's like come from this way and got a couple of kills. I think this time he went all the way around this way. I like cleared it. He's got a Viper's Pit and B main, which is fair enough. Yeah, this might be where that recon can come in really handy. Oh, Ian could just peek it like that because he's up against like a lower buy. Not a huge lower buy. He needs to go careful. Especially with awkward fights like that. Did Berlin just wallbang it from all the way over here? He must have done. Oh no, I do not like that from Lysol though. That's greedy. You've just like completely opened up the site against a fairly like crap buy. Viper's Pit's being used too. These two players are coming in like separate sides. Kunkung's in a really good spot. Like this Astra smoke helps him more than anything. It's a defensive smoke to allow them to get out of arches, but Kunkung's actually like played around it so well. So 1v1 now. TCH. Shishu still has both the snake bites, so yeah, just play to stall them out. TCH tries to follow where the snake bites come from, and Shishu's just waiting for the fight anyway. But nicely done. But I don't like if your Viper's Pit in here. Do we see the wall bang? This is also just a weird fight to be taking. I wonder what gave that away though for Smoggy. Like if his spider sense was just kicking off, or like if he heard a step. Yeah, rough round for FPX to be losing, to be honest. Yeah, the better buy, they got the first kill. Autumn is a guardian, so they've bought up here, so they'd have to properly eco next. Reckoning using a cross and then the thrash. The thrash gets cancelled though because of the KO knife. Ayang's just going to get stunned off the back of it. He's trying to use this wall to the best of his advantage, really. But Berlin and Nizao, TCH even die on sight. Ayang is still holding on stairs. Mid control, always been good for FPX. Good clearance. Recon is caught into somebody. I think it tagged the player that was in double doors, though. But good trades. Shishu's in a really good spot. That's not going to get cleared properly. Oh, it's just close enough. He's 2 HP, for Christ's sake. All right, EDG are now doing typical EDG things of just clutching out absurd, like, plays. And it's so unfortunate because Ayang does so good from stairs. Like, he gets loads of information. Nobody also gets a really nice double kill. It's just literally for a split second, Ayang jumps up to shock dart. And then the kill just goes their way. And then 2 marshals, sheriff. It's round 9. And the attack op is out now too, in full force. Recon checking stuff as it's coming in. It's just a Skydog though. A lot of control on B now. Lysol's been doing what he usually does. It is being pinged, so they are going to clear it properly. They're going to clear it with the operator. Oh, just as the timing. He no-scopes him as well. Just for like added effect. Harbor Wall, Cove was used. They used a wingman to plant. They operated mid control, and yeah, it's 3v5. Any gun upgrades? Lysol did leave one here, so Berlin might be able to. Sorry, TCH is able to pick it up here. They know where he is, so they're just gonna hunt him. Had the stats a little bit more. Stun's nice, just misses. Good shots from TCH. Smoggy does eventually get him. So Smoggy's actually really close to getting another thrash at this rate. I mean, this feels good. Like, we've had some like series and maps that have been kind of bland to be watching, but this one's felt just really nice, like, to watch. Like, it's really interesting to see what both teams are sort of coming up with, especially because it has been a while since we've seen either of them really properly play it. For EDG, like, for sure. There they go with a satchel. Oh, it just misses it. Oh, it's a shame they just missed it too, because I think that would have got a kill. I don't think they were really focusing on it there. They have pinged it. Dizzy Flash has come through. KO Knife is perfectly timed. I think it gets 4 of them. It gets all of the people that are there. Ayang from this position is just too good. TCH is there for spot. 4 people get hit by the knife. 4 people have rotated already. Lysol's usually been pretty good on these kind of timings and might be able to get onto it on the Viper here. The Harbor Wall is just going to make it very difficult to clear this anyway. So Autumn needs to go a little bit careful. Clears it anyway. The Harbor trying to play around the smoke. Smoggy trying to play off of it too. At least Smoggy finds an opening, but it's... he has to ace now. Alright, good run from FPX. And it did sort of feel like after the KO Knife got 4, EDG didn't really do all that much there. So everybody just rotates and comes over. They even used to hunt this Fury for a little extra, but I don't think it really got that much. EDG haven't timed out yet, but I don't think they've had really any reason to, right? It's been pretty plain sailing. Nice KO lineup for B. Oh, that fragment is actually going to get like probably like 100 damage, 200. One of them dies, and one of them is 11 HP. Annoyingly, the player that's 11 HP is the one that can't get a heal. You also get Kung Kung in mid. This like A main control has been really nice. I mean, that's a hell of a dizzy actually. Just how high that goes. Shishu gets 2? Like from here? He gets 1 there and 1 there. Okay, he just gets 3. Just your average Sentinel player just coming in and demolishing people. Lysol like 1 versus 3. Wingman's gonna... ooh, almost stuns him. It's more the fact that, like, health-wise, Lysol's in, like, a good position to, like, clutch this. He's already got 1, but EDG is stalling the time so well here. And they just pieced that together nicely. Yeah, it's a couple of rounds now that FPX have, like, lost at maybe, like, 2 at least. Maybe even 3. Because that round, FPX, I think, should have clinched. Shishu just insane aim with the sheriffs. I mean, we're going to see it in a second now, right? Oh my god. Yeah, you can't actually blame FPX for that. They just got demolished. But there's like two rounds that maybe FPX could have won. When they're in the 4v2 on A, and then when Lysol pushes this. That's absurd shots from Shishu. Barely ever buy together. It's last round. TCH just as a sheriff. Throw the dizzy, they're not going to be able to get it. They're pinging elbow now. They're either worried that somebody's like pushed it, or what they're doing at the moment is just clearing it. Thrash is going to be used. Actually, this is Thrash, sorry. They've got the Skydog B main and then going through tunnel. It's a nice little idea for a B-split, actually. Good shot from Autumn. No idea where to expect that from. At least Haodong is able to trade him out, too, with the showstopper. 3v2. KO ultimate, still. That's not really going to stop all that much. Like, Viper's on A. Just going to give up the position of where Berlin is. He has one flash, too. Even a late leg from TCH. But the problem is, again, just time. Great peek from Smoggy there, too. Oh, dear. I mean, EDG just really like playing this map. Gotta say that like FPX don't look too bad on it though. I think they just made enough mistakes to allow EDG an in. They lost against 2 Thrifties at least. Might even be 3, like lower buys. Yeah, the shot from Shishu onto Ayang was crazy. But that's like the second time that Ayang has been caught jump peeking to shock at something and then just being domed. I don't really think that's too much of his fault though, right? Like I don't. He's just got literally out-aimed. Unless he was like jump peeking it for a little bit and then just gets caught out, but I don't think so. I'm trying to work out without understanding any like Hanzi what that means. Yeah, that's not too surprising. Ayang has been really good on the silver. Punished a little bit, but I think he was at the mercy of people like Shishu. Who was it that got the kill on Ayang when he was jump peeking from yellow? Like here. Because that might have also been Shishu. Like, at this rate, it wouldn't surprise me. Going for an A split. And they respected his cascade a lot. I mean, they're pinging this now. They're really scared that somebody's actually in A main. There's 3 people here, 2 of which are looking at double doors. So TCH needs to take this very carefully. Yeah, this is the only negative with not running a KO is you don't just get that immediate information. Like, they still have to kind of try and get through this wall though. So the Aldron gets used, they nade into this corner. TCH buys his time. I think the ping on the Aldrin actually does get Kung Kung. Can't quite get the kill, but there's enough people around it to actually do the damage. Even saving the wall a little bit to do it as a surprise. The little like double take from Berlin. I mean, I don't like how this is looking from FPX's perspective there for a second. Everybody was starting to spread out a little bit more. But they win the pistol. That's the important thing. They're not doing a Viper wall off the rip again. So Rico just land on top of this. Imagine you probably do it quite high as well, because you might be able to get like elbow people. It's 3 on B, 2 on A. Mid's not being fought for. These are the now positions that FPX are pinging the last round to be careful of. I mean, the flash just gets instantly broken. I mean, this has been like good patience for FPX last couple of rounds. But they're really respecting this space, probably because of the Gecko. And they're pushing mid, which is really scary for them to be doing. Reasons like that, you've just at least given him a ghost. And nobody's able to get 2 because everybody's like spiraling out. Wasn't really going to end in like a round win, but it's still like damage done. Yeah, I think in some instances FPX have looked a very just... There's gaps, a little bit sloppy in places. Especially on this map. Up until then, it was pretty clean. Like, there wasn't many like thrifty rounds at all, I don't think. Like on Haven there wasn't, it was all fairly clean. Lotus there really wasn't. So yeah, it's just only really been this map that FPX have kind of been caught out by thrifties at the very least. Okay, and I've got the Sky. Kung Kung's like playing off of this wall on like a late angle. I don't really know what he sees though. This is sometimes a really good spot when you have somebody that's like scaling up on mid to watch this. Now he's got like a bit more sight of mid, just waiting a little bit more. And Lysa actually catches him because he was on top of column. Really, really good damage actually done here from Chishu. You got a lurk from TCH again. Haodong's at least keeping an eye on it. This has been read really nicely from EDG. And FPX are also just leaving these like Viper walls late. Again, big round to be winning and fighting on. Even like the Astra smokes just afterwards. So you could still smoke off this area, and then when these smokes are done, you can put the Viper wall up again. And Lysa again is just controlling mid. I wonder what this smoke is for. Gives you something to play around, I guess. Nice from nobody. I think time's good too. I mean, again, it just sort of felt like FPX had full control of that. What was that at that point? 3v2 for a bit, 3v3. Just really like even traded fights. To get onto site, 3v3, 3v2. And then into a 1v1. Good bonus at least, I guess, for FPX. They might be a little bit mad that they didn't win that one. 3 on A yet again. KO knife goes onto double doors. It doesn't catch on to anything.
追泪是0了，这个技能就在回防边还是很好用的。
中路先摸一下，而且 EDG 在 A 点是做了一波防守前压。
Sky Flash gets nothing。
还是同样的战术，方方现在想就是我先把中路控下来，然后如果你要拿信息，就一定要出来跟我对。
丢直接给。
Alright, they know that Smoggy's up in heaven now. Even Sky dug through here to check elbow.
还很久，所以中路这里还是持续的在给压力的。
Great flash, like perfect flash from nobody. He's got Seekers too, so he can afford to be a little bit more liberal with using utility. Because as the execute comes in, he could just Seekers. Until he gets KO knifed. Aldroni gets pinged, he gets flashed, he gets naded. Shishu's still able to get 1. Able to get 2 just for predicting that corner. I mean, very close fights again, 2v3. And then Autumn just in a 1v2. Oh, hell of a shot from Kung Kung at the end. Nobody gets some fantastic information just with the Sky Flash. And then Shishu just kills people. The next map is Sunset. Which is like a good map, I suppose, for FPX to be going to. Could be a full best of 5. Although I don't know. The more that this has gone on from Haven, it's more looked that like EDG have been able to deal with things really nicely. And this was EDG's pick, and it sort of looks a bit more like it. Oh, just, yeah, if you're just going to obliterate people like that. Looking kind of done, at least for this one. I think it's honestly more of a surprise that the coaches haven't. Because the coach for FPX timed out twice in the first half, like first 8 rounds, I think it was. Like he used 2 out of his timeouts on Lotus. So he has left it kind of late for this one, but EDG haven't called a timeout. I'm pretty sure they haven't called a timeout since since Haven. The first half of Haven was the last timeout that they called. So I don't think EDG called one at all on the second half of Lotus, or actually on Lotus at all. So yeah, I wonder what it's going to be for the timeout. Because they were close to at least pulling this back after an 8-4 half. But this was a 1v1. And then just EDG had enough about just to carry that on. I could see because of the sun. Better? No, not really. It still comes through. Who said it was coughing then?
这份阿阳有狂烈之怒啊，所以无人机如果标定到的话，可能会考虑直接架设，然后让队友跟着这个技能的一个掩护，直接往点里进。
对，但FPX现在，这什么东西啊？这过点直接被敲了一枪头。
还好是穿的，不然人直接没了。
啊，关键是。
I think EDG will lose tomorrow against VALORANT. I think it'll be a really good game. I just don't know how VALORANT are going to do on a couple of maps. I guess Breeze would be banned out, so they don't need to worry about that. No Bind, no Ascent, no Breeze. So like Bind we haven't seen from either team for a while. VALORANT have got 2 map bans. Oh yeah, so I guess what would they take out? Alright, Alto just skips in. Again, they're doing like the late Viper walls. Trying to take space towards CT, but everybody else on EDG is mid.
这份响应有点难，因为每个过路口已经都是被架死了。要么就下一下枪吧。
Who do you think wins map 4? It'll be a good game because EDG lost on Sunset and FPX won it yesterday. So get to see some of these ideas again, like come to fruition. Yeah, good information. Everything's looking comfortable for FPX, at least for once. And then everybody should get out and nobody should die to the spike. For money, actually, for EDG, it has been pretty awkward now. So saving this rifle is actually... feels like a big deal. Have EDG lost any title in China yet? No, they've won every event. They've lost like a couple of maps in the grand final. They lost a series last act and this act. Most that they've lost in a best of 5 is 1 map. It's not gone to a full best of 5 yet. Big audience turnout. Pop flash for the KO. Pushing into mid a bit more. But yeah, VALORANT winning would be a real shock to me.
就是一个惊喜翻腾的抢位置，康康居也是终于有所动作，不选择在后点架了，直接顶出来了。哎，直接给到一个消散，应该是消散结束了。
Okay, nice from Kung Kung. Because I wasn't really that much of a VALORANT believer. I don't think I ever really have been. Ooh, almost took his head off. Neon today, main. It's a shame that Haldon kind of gets separated, but Kung Kung's still alive. Might have been a little bit of an overstep. I think there was a recon dart that was even used here as well, which made it harder. Thrash going through onto backside. Does it stun anybody? I don't think so. It's really lucky actually that the Viper's Pip kind of went across this way. But they are going to plant backside. So it's an awkward sort of place to be fighting for. This is a really awkward fight actually for FPX now. Like, the spike plant isn't in the Viper's pit. 2 people are going to peek this and they both get destroyed. And the stun flash actually does get Lysol, but they narrowly just skips past it, but it gets traded anyway. Yeah, I mean... the Viper's pit seems sort of panicked to get that kind of space. I just don't know why you wouldn't plant in it instead of out in the open. EDG lost to VALORANT. But yeah, this is losers bracket final. Bye, what's it like? Got the operator pretty much just enough money to work with. It's the fact that EDG's money has been so close to like going to a lower buy or like a full eco. And it's just not really happened. This has been fought with aggressively. I guess the Boomball gets good information there. Full flash. There's 3 people over here. Harbor wall cutting across here too is really nice. In fact, everything that EDG are doing here is just to fight for mid is really good. The Hunter's Fury, though, actually doesn't get a kill onto either of the players. It didn't even tag Shishu, which was surprising because they looked like they were just stood on top of each other. It's good movement for Kung Kung to like just only get hit once. Use the Cascade and Wingman to clear A main, so this is good information. Pushes off the lurk that TCH has been consistently trying to do. And then B-split coming in. You got Kung Kung that's on this angle. He's even going to use his ult. You get nobody through the Sova ping. She's using quad. Good trade actually from TCH to get in around, but Kung Kung does even better to like clear the backside. He's so comfortable on Neon. It's unreal. Alright, Autumn. There's 13 seconds left. Reckoning's even being used. Howdon gets him. Alright, same scorelines. Pretty sure. Like 13-7 on Haven. What was it on Lotus? It might have actually been 13-7 again, but the other way around. Yeah, EDG. Dropped him at series point now. 13-5 Lotus. Yes, so a lot of these maps haven't really been super close. Which has felt like the last couple of days, actually. And really nice shots. Now, upper bracket final, lower bracket final. Last 2 days have just been maybe going to full best of threes, for example. But just one-sided maps leading people there. Could be the same on Sunset, though. Like, if FPX could just end up beating... like, just winning 13-7 on Sunset, going to split could be very, like, interesting. You predict a map 5? I'm, yeah, really unsure of it at this point. It is going to be good, though. EDG are always good. Like, if they lose on a map, they tend to bounce back on it pretty quickly. The only thing with their Sunset is, like, it's never looked that comfortable with the Kung Kung Cypher. Did they go back to playing Chamber? Did they change anything up at all? It's a little bit up in the air. But I guess it is kind of sad to see that this map did end up a little bit more one-sided for EDG, especially with how close it was to begin with. Just sort of felt that after some of the clutch rounds that they had in like the bonus, that they had with Chichu getting the 2k with the pistols, a couple of throw rounds maybe for FPX. Up until then it was really close, but as soon as we went on to the attacking side for FPX, it was just all EDG. Too much like information. I'm gonna go fill up a drink though, because I've been talking an awful lot. We could be here for an hour or two more. And I'll run some ads because I didn't run them, and pre-rolls are now on for people. So, we'll avoid that. They used Kung Kung and Cypher and lose entire 10% hate mail to Sideshow. Wait, it wasn't even Sideshow that said anything. It was Finkerman's Valorant to force Kung Kung. Well, I say forced Kung Kung off. Didn't force him off, but complained about him. But yeah, so I'll just run some ads so people don't get him in the middle of the game. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute or two.
MVP 是给到了球球290的 ACS 2.0的 KDA 174的平均每回合伤害6次多杀还有29的精准击败率。
哇，确实我觉得这个 MVP 实至名归啊！不管是在上半场队伍陷入到僵局，球球的一个破局残局，还是说在下半场单人首点的一个多杀，都是很好的引领到团队去走向胜利的。
是，就包括刚才其实那波 Team Radio 能够听得到，就是球球那个混烟其实是非常关键的，吹响了反攻的号角。那我们在整体的数据里面能够看到，其实 Autumn 在队伍里面依旧是他们的 SVP， 依旧是击杀数最高的，来到17个击杀，并且有252的一个 ACS。但是 我觉得还是回归到那个点，你雷兹体系在微风岛屿防守方如果拿分不够多，来到进攻方，其实雷兹的位置就会变得非常尴尬。
对，虽然说他已经打得足够激进，而且也通过他的激进创造到了一些前点的人数优势，但很快就会被 EDG 给抹平回来。而且我觉得最关键的一个点就是在这场地图上面来到防守方之后，康康的民居真的有点处理不了。
而且你看率先击败上面其实是FunPlus更多的，也就意味着其实 EDG 在这场比赛里面打了很多次这种劣势的残局。 去翻转，然后在部署获胜比里面 ，EDG 是安了8次包，并且拿到了其中的7次，还有1次精彩的残局，也就意味着其实，在 FunPlus 他们在这张地图有一个比较大的问题，就是他们拿到优势之后，他们没有办法把优势扩大，他们一直出现了那种就是被劣势翻盘的情况。
对，那我们通过地图的一个情况来再看一下目前的局势，图1。 可以看到是 EDG 的选图由FunPlus拿下，而 EDG 也是互爆了对手的选图，而图3的微风岛屿，我觉得这张图确实熟练度上面来说 ，EDG 要更加的高一些。
对，
这张图明显有一个更加自在的发挥，从刚刚的一个 Team Radio 也可以明显感觉到，他们更少的去交流自己的站位了，更多的是去交流对手的站位和自己想要去打的打法了。我觉得这对 EDG 来说才是他们更加熟悉的一种作战方式。
没错，而对于现在目前 EDG 是一个在慢慢回暖的状态了，在第1张地图可能他们遭遇了一个滑铁卢，然后来到第2张地图，来到莲花古城，在对手的选图情况下，他们是拿到了比赛的胜利。那第3张地图拿下来之后，他们现在已经是2比1领先了，他们有机会能够终结这个 BO5。那我们也是可以拭目以待，看一下他们到底能不能够把握住机会。我们也是稍事休息，精彩比赛马上回来。欢迎回到5位契约 CN 赛区进化者系列公开赛，我是解说 OC，
我是解说 Zaki。
是的，那在前3张地图打完之后，目前 EDG 是在先丢失1张地图的情况下，连扳2场，2比1大比分暂时领先。那第4张地图将会来到 FunPlus 的自选图，来到日落之城。 这张地图就非常有意思了，因为2支队伍在最近都在这张地图里面会有一个转变，而 FunPlus 感觉明显他们的转变可能会更成功的一方，因为他们是又用回了之前不死鸟的体系去打起一个滚雪球的作用。而对于 EDG 来说，可能我们一直没有办法去绕开的一个话题就是康康拿到0真的是一个好的选择吗？因为现在是一个画上的一个问号。
对的。 其实你可以明显感觉到，康康在来到0之后，首先是一个熟练度的不足，他的发挥是受到一定限制的。而且在0和上伯乐之间的一个转变，虽然都是同属少尉，但这2个英雄的打法是完全不同的。上伯乐的话，很多时候他还是会承担一个可能要跟队伍抱团要去破局的一个位置，而0就单纯是一个自己玩，然后等到正面打开一些动静之后，再去靠自己的单摸扩大优势。他不是一个可以去决定胜利的英雄，但是他可以去扩大自己这边的一个人数流，但前提是你得正面打得过才行，不然你这边绕后就显得很难。
而且对于，我觉得对于0这个英雄来说吧，可能还会有一点的绕不开。
Some sustenance.
康康在拿到了0之后，其实一直都没有怎么去使用过米这么强，这个可能会导致到有点让人。
Alright, we all strapped in.
不过这张图其实对明具的一个依赖没有那么大，因为毕竟图会偏小。所以今天还是要看一下康康究竟。
Who else is actually watch playing these games outside of me, Sliggy, and Sideshow?
回归到以前上伯乐的一个选择情况。
哎，看一下，我方仅剩1人，
剩的人是99。我觉得这句话对应到上张图的一个对局当中是真的非常适用的，因为几乎打到
I know there's somebody that's doing it in Russian. I don't know if anybody else has been doing it. FPX odds just shot up huge. Did something happen? On this, was it like specific to maps? I mean, this is what they were running before, right? Where's my headset going off? Has it died? No. Wait, where's Conco? Conco's gone back onto the chamber. Okay. Otherwise, the roles are the same. I mean, that's good. This is what FPX were running yesterday, so even though it's a bit of a weirder comp, it's still, like, pretty good. It might just be that it's realized that it is sunset and that FPX won yesterday and EDG lost. So maybe it's accounting for that a bit. And maybe it is just because of like how EDG are like going on a streak now. Or maybe Conco going onto the chamber. I mean, again, neither team running Cypher is weird for me. It is also still really weird to see TCH on the chamber when he mostly plays controller. Alright, EDG's like usual, like pistol, Viper wall, lots of mid control too. Oh, and Lysel gets taken out on the flank. Doesn't really lose too much though, because he only had a Viper wall on A. But they're getting flanked behind on B. Conco just trying to spray to see if they can get the person planting, but they can't. And this wall's sort of actually allowing them to push CT. This is a really good response from FPX. But they have to go through Shishu, who has just been an MVP today. Yeah, really good pistol. Really good like mid control. Something that EDG really struggled with yesterday. I'd bet my entire pension plan on FPX then. Once in a lifetime chance. Don't necessarily think it's that true of a once in a lifetime chance. Is this attack sided? Oh god, they started an argument yesterday. I'd say it probably is. Hard to really know. It depends on comp and who's playing, honestly. Because we've had some really dominant attack sides, but we've also had some really dominant defense sides. We'll have to look into it a bit more. That's about pulling in my shoulder. Nice shots. I also learned how to do the really cool owl drone that's from here. I learned it yesterday, but we didn't play any Sunset yesterday, so I never got to use it. I do actually want to pay attention if both teams, well, no, sorry. FPX are running recons, so whilst this is a watch party to see which of these two teams is going to win, apologies if I like over focus on Silver stuff, because I am a initiator player. I do also think it's kind of a smart adjustment from EDG to go back to the chamber, because the Silver is to deal with ciphers. Like, this comp is pretty good against like cipher setups and stuff. So EDG are like, well, you know, if they're playing Silver for shock darts of trips, you just go back to the chamber and it does nothing for them. Ayang was just watching this. Wasn't really defaulting anyway. You got the harbor wall. Uses the recon and just uses it top mid. So honestly, I don't think you really get to see a lot of cool recon lineups for Silver, because so much of it is just dedicated to like mid control. And then you'll be playing like here, and then you just recon CT, or you recon here, you know. There's no crazy like execute lineup. Doesn't go fast enough. Like here, he's just waiting patiently off the back of this Viper wall. Maybe like clear some of these close angles and then owl drone this. Because if you can owl drone and get all of the information here, whilst these guys are going CT. I mean, yeah, I guess it's good to just clear sight more. You've just got to be careful of this. Recon's available again. They've used a shock dart, or they might have just had one. Autumn tried and playing a little bit more close. I guess a recon here would be really nice if they tried to go in. As soon as the retake starts. Sees gets him. Ang's just trying to help fight, I think. Yeah. Screw the utility, just aim. Just fight him. How long? Only as a guardian, so it's not really worth saving. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean about like the recons. They're just very like basic, I guess.
而且方 plus 打 A 点的思路，感觉他们这个清点做的还是比较好的。刚刚这个明狙也是直接被撕掉。明狙空枪了这分。如果说明狙能够狙一个的话，可能局势还会不一样。而且明狙是来到了 TZH 手上。现在有点坏了。那这个确实有点。现在主要是这把狙给到 TZH 之后，中路 EDG 完全不敢漏了。而且刚刚这个防守前压变得更好一些。
Bonus didn't get anything for EDG, but they still have a full buy here. Recon again, I think just used in same sort of mid spot. Smoggy. Nice shot from Kung Kung, but he's already pretty low. Got a cascade for mid 2. There's a trap still here for the chamber. Niang, yeah, is just holding for the mid lurk. It's interesting for Kung Kung to actually go and flank around here. There's still a trap. So he is going to get pinged on this. Actually, no, he isn't, because TCH is dead. My bad. So he can actually lurk all this way. Knows that there's one. Doesn't know that there's two. So this is a little bit like scary now for FPX. Because they don't have information elsewhere. So they are like boxed in. They've seen that it's the Viper. So that, yeah, now they should know that the last player's alive. So now there's a bit more like freedom of movement for Berlin. 主要这个爆能器的安装角度完全拆不了啊，可能低包还没站起来就已经要被两边直架了。狂潮稍微掩护一下 Autumn 撤。Yeah, Kung Kung just has to get out. Really nice rounds. Me, yeah, it feels like name of the game now is just mid control. Just mid. Wall it off, recon it early, hold it for a lurk. I don't know what Smoggy was trying to do here. I didn't realize how much he was caught out by like the timing of the Viper utility going down, but still, he's just caught out. Attack up for TCH. He's going to get one weight off. I guess the ultimate is the thing that we just did was Tudfos. And that's in B. Cascaded off. Recon is going to be used in mid, so full control here again. Whilst they said that the Silver's like good for playing up against Cypher, so it doesn't have as much impact against the chamber, I think just having the Silver still be able to do like the recon in mid. I think for playing CT and for getting mid control on the defense, Silver is a lot better than Fade. Like, I'm a much bigger fan of Silver on this map than Fade now. And it depends on how much you can, like, combine the Fade with the Raze on, like, executes, Season 8 kind of stuff. Paranoia is good, at least breaking this out. And the Haunt is actually great. Like, I think it gets 4 of them. So these Ecos are actually, like, in the lead, like, player advantage. Forces out the Reckoning, too. Oh, nobody's so close to actually killing him there. And then they run into Shishu that's still able to get one. And then they run into the Tour de Force. Oh, man. Just losing it. Like, these 50s from EDG. Just too good. But that timing of the Haunt there as they were peaking was incredible. I think maybe there was an element of EDG getting such a good read on that, because let's be honest, FPX haven't really done anything else up until that point. It's just been like the same fight for mid a little bit, go A. Fight for mid a little bit, go A. Smoggy's been pushed CT. Is there a Haunt lineup that you can do from here, or like are they going to Prowler? They're going to Paranoia, and then Smoggy's going to peek off of that. Really nice play. Chibu just suits Kung Kung, never play Cypher again. I think like if they had a bit more time to change up their comp. Like, rolls aren't an issue, that you can just put Kung Kung back on Raze, Smoggy on Fade, nobody on Viper, Shishu on Cypher, and you've got it good. I mean, the Hunter's Fury is kind of just neated out from Ayang. Shishu's just so good at, like, winning crazy fights. Case in point, it's actually probably been one of his like best performances. Look at Kung Kung. He's not standing up to boast for himself. He's like, look at my Sentinel player. Like, that's a sick shot. And then here just knows that they're all vulnerable as well. Through that smoke. Just get it. That actually might be like a good clip for something. At least I feel quite good at being able to call what's about to happen. To an extent. I was like, Shishu's always good in these moments, and then he just kills all of them. It's been an easy series for EDG's coach, outside of Haven. He's only called 2 timeouts this whole series. I still need to get that spray. I think it's on Twitch, isn't it? You have to claim that one. Different Viper wall now. Very different. The Viper wall and then a cascade to go through. This is a really interesting round. It doesn't quite work. Oh, and she's just gonna kill 2 more with a snake bite. Team Flash from Autumn? Probably. Alright, nice. There was an idea there for FPX on a low buy. It's more the paranoia from Haldong that got all of it. So they're dedicating to this Viper wall more now.
这个再活一回来跟对面强行换技能。
对，但是前提是你要去前点位拿这个技能球也挺危险的，因为刚刚有狙，它可以。
I mean, I don't know if I really like it that much.
这个拐角其实是一个经典优爪加上踩雷飞剑能够锁到的位置。啊。
Because it only really does one thing, which is here. I don't think that's really been a problem.
而且它吸个球有大。
对，这个能量球肯定是要给到奥特曼去吸的。
Got the silver over on B. Mid is in control.
还是要商量一下，时间很多。
A 点拿到了掌控权，然后他们中路是有一个反清的。
红砖路正好撞到了转点大。
And then they still just push mid anyway when you've got this wall.
那看一下啊，刘一手这波补枪补上，而且 Nobody 在另外一边遭遇到了 Berlin。
I mean, at least EDG have been a bit braver in fighting this. It's a nice snake bite, but again, it's not really stopping Haldong. Maybe should have done. And then like the wall to just go through like onto B.
但手上技能还是比较多的，先抓一个留一手。那现在1v3爆能器给的有点晚，没有打断到。那这样就变成一个40秒限时战了。
这个时候可能队友会跟 Smokey 说一句：“只要把这3个人都打掉，你下个回合就有大了。”
They're gonna flank all the way around, I think.
但是对于 Smokey 来说怎么打？现在人都有点找不到。
I mean, Smokey's sort of just looking for a fight at this point. He did check behind him, but I don't think he was really expecting it after a certain point.
但是方帕斯完全不理会。
对，不对。我不能让你有大，而且这一分其实对于 FunPlus 来说，他们处理这把狙处理得非常好，就是给到一个可开关。
I mean, all they really did was just push up into the Viper orb.
第一时间的这个明确的视野，在关键的一瞬间同时开枪，其实对于康康来说是没有什么可以反应的机会的。
In the wall again.
发现了，好像。只有这把狙的位置是比较好打的，因为狙我用人数堆点嘛，你最多跟我打1换1。
Oh, the game so far? Hey, Gray. They've been good in the sense that like FPX took the first map and it was kind of a shock, but since then it's been comfortably EDG. Like moments like this, I guess. It's the typical like EDG thing, I suppose, of when things are close, like when their money is like on the rocks a little bit more. Granted, it's not too bad here. You know, just as like FPX might be able to force EDG onto an eco and like take the lead and turn the map around, EDG just have rounds like this. Yeah, things just look a lot better with like Hong Kong on the chamber for one. But I don't think it really is a case of like him playing Cypher here. I don't think would have made too much difference either. 35 seconds now. I mean, I think they're just saving, really. Money is iffy, but not bad. I still see FPX as hardest in co. We're seeing a completely new team even after a bit. Yeah, I feel you. I think for like FPX it's a bit different because I sort of knew them as like a big China org beforehand. Like it's weird. I forget that they were the same team in org, I guess. It's just chaos. Never heard of FPX or Valorant? I sort of knew them loosely through like League, because I think the year before Valorant came out, FPX was in World's Final. It was them versus G2, I'm pretty sure. Never played League. I think I've got like less than 5 games on it. But I guess it was just because it was just as Valorant was coming out. It's like, okay, what is like League esports like? How do they treat that? And I think around the time that they announced Project A was around Worlds. It was around like this time of year, maybe even like earlier, like late November, early October. Wait. early November, late October.
B区其实是一个 fake，A 点才是真正想打的方向，A 区已经空了。
啊 ，A 点给技能，但对 EDG 来说，只要把中路和 B 点守好就可以了。
对，而且因为 A
There's a open A site now though.
他们没有听到 A 区转点的脚步声，现在还是在慢慢的往。
That looked like a good recon dart. I don't know how he would have done it to get into there. Like whether it was like a bounced.
架枪的方式拿到人数优，漂亮，没有耐住性子，给到了一个击杀。
但球球这个指甲的位置看一下还是有点远的，而爆能器在 A 点已经是安置。
Was the league finals there, not the most watched esports final?
会有点危险，那他在绕，他在绕。
I'm not too sure. Viewership for this year's though was really good.
有一手的枪还是挺。
回防好像稍微有点困难，
而且出烟康康是个侧身哦。
海盾一散，可能康康就要倒了。
是的。
It's almost as if the watch party sort of helped a bit more. Alright, good response from FPX. Had a couple of like iffy moments on this map too.
通过两边的一个拉扯，把人送到一些关键的位置上面，卡住对手的回防，这样去化解正面的压力。对，FunPlus 非常擅长的这种打法体系。
就主要是他在中路拿到掌控权之后，在 A 点其实他是拉扯出一片空间来的。他给到了一波 fake 之后，这个 A 点只要安装了爆能器，对 EDG 来说，你回防的路上必定。
I was just thinking for that round, I was like, nothing felt like it happened. It just slow breezed through it, and FPX won the round. That's because it was. I don't think there was any kills off the back of like util. It was just people waiting and trying to get timings. I think the Horn actually did get the Harbor here, but I don't think he got the Silver. No, I really don't think he got the Silver. They're clearly not expecting him here. Real shame that they, like, the timing didn't work out there a little bit more. I reckon they are going for the B execute. Problem is that the flash is too good from Autumn. I'm glad he wasted, like, 0 time. Nade is going to be really good onto the planter here, especially because it's the Cove. Yeah, Berlin's half HP because of it. But like market control, got the smoke here still. Oh, enough of a gap for Smoggy to do something with. They do catch the like rotation from Shishu. Smoggy doesn't have anything to work with. Like this shouldn't be winnable. He knows where both of them are now at least. The molly missed. He has to sort of stick it, really. So yeah, Autumn at least gets the kill. Yeah, another like pretty decent round from FPX. Just quick reactions, good stuff from Autumn to actually just get in onto site. Yeah, I wonder how much this year, because League have only really started properly introducing watch parties into like League of Legends and Worlds. How much of an impact that had on like the viewership? I imagine it helped, but I'm curious on how much. If it was like a foreseeable amount. Did they just pre-aim? I think they pre-aimed the harbor here, just as the cascade was going through. Yeah, Sunset's been like a really good map addition. I haven't met anybody that severely dislikes it. They're maybe not fond of it, but yeah, I don't think anybody's like when it was like Breeze or Icebox or Fracture or Pearl, just you know vehemently dislikes it. But see how people feel in like 6 months' time. Like if a meta starts to get formed, for example. Alright, another run it back. People are on site. Ayang has a recon. I mean, I just don't think that Ayang's been able to really use that much utility. There we go. But you get some information, but you know that it's sort of... You know that there's one in there, but you know that people are playing off of him. They're just good peaks and fights from, like, EDG. I still think that, like, 7-5 is a halftime score. For FPX isn't really that bad. Probably one of the closer halves we've had on a Sunset game. Yeah, just spray that area. I need a guide to start playing LoL, but not the mechanics. A guide on how to play each role. I think it's more dependent on like, okay, if you want to play top lane, have a look at what a lot of videos say on like who you should be playing, who's good for beginners and stuff. And then it's probably better to find content creators that specialize in like Renekton, for example, or Garrett, or who else? Darius. That would be my like approach to it. Like, you don't need to get into the mindset yet early, I suppose. Like, I know that there's a bit of sort of like picking and banning mind games of like you've got more like melee characters that are more damage dealers, and then tanks, and then ranged. And I imagine that it's sort of like this. There's some forms of rock, paper, scissors. So essentially you want to have like one tank player. This is specifically for top lane, which again, 5 games experience on it. But yeah, like you'd have like a tank character, a melee, and then a ranged. And you sort of pick one of each, maybe 2. I need to know what to do with Teemo on top lane or something like that. Yeah, and then yeah, watching a Teemo player talk about it is better than like a generic pro guides kind of channel. I will say, from the look of it, like pro guides videos on League and even like Overwatch, I've been quite like impressed with. What's the other one called? There's like another faceless organization coaching channel. But I always found that the pro guides videos in Valorant and I've forgotten what the other one's called. I always thought that that kind of content was pretty ass. I haven't watched it for a while though. It's like in the early days. Like, here's a meta tier list of all of the agents, and it's just like, don't agree with that at all. All the guides I choose this chart for jungle, but said not what to do there. Yeah, it's sort of a little bit, not clickbait, but just trying to entice people in. There's a content creator in Overwatch called Skyline that had a really good video on how to like get good at any game. And one of his main points, actually we'll see this round play out first. Well, I mean, it's just nobody that's just alive. I don't know how he got to here. But what he said, and I'm trying to do this as much as possible. I think the League is a little bit different. When learning a new game, give yourself 2 weeks to just like experience it. Like if you're learning, I don't know, how to play Gecko. Just have like 2 weeks of like insta-locking the agent and seeing for yourself what works and what doesn't. Don't look at any guides, don't look at any like pro VODs or anything like that. Just like 2 weeks of you soaking in as much as you can about the character. And then after 2 weeks, then you can look at like guides and see what other people are doing. And I guess the whole idea is that you give yourself a bit of an opinion and a stance on what you think before you just accept somebody else's word as gospel. Because you might play 2 weeks of Gecko and then watch a guide on somebody else play Gecko. Oh, he actually tried to do the... I've actually seen it counted here. This felt like very, very purposeful. Because this is the really, really strong owl drone that you could do, because you can get it to bounce off this wall, bounce off a lip on here, and then it gets really high and gets all of like B main control, a mid even. Is this them winning another Thrifty? It might be.
EDG 的压力可能会比较大，但是对面都没有护甲的。
但 EDG 现在需要进点了，时间也不太多了，后路两个人在绕，随时可能会给到威胁。
2 weeks of utter abuse. I think he was challenger in league. But I think that's specifically, it's what he said he was doing on Splitgate when that was out. Nice. Right. I mean, it's a really good eco for EDG. A little bit rough for FPX, but at least they're winning these rounds, not losing them. Like, I think a really good example is like TFT. Like, the set 10 is out at the moment, which has changed up pretty much how the whole game plays out. It's so easy to go to like blitz.gg or something like that to look at what's working at the moment, what's meta, like what are the best traits, what are the best items, what are the best like characters to build around. But you don't really learn anything about the game. You just learn how to copy what a website's telling you. But if you play the game for 2 weeks, which is what I'm like trying to do, and like just try out different builds and learn where the strengths are, then when you go to blitz.gg and you can understand, okay, yeah, it makes sense why this is strong and I didn't expect this to be strong, and you're almost testing your own like perception, which is why me doing these watch parties is like really good for me, because I get to say what I think and I have people here saying, yeah, I agree, or no, I don't, or I don't understand why something happened here. Somebody can explain they did this because X, Y, and Z. Good flank. Haunt is broken, and nobody really reacts to Autumn flanking all the way behind. So actually, FPX winning the bonus here is good. I'm commented about the LoL player base attitudes. That's always kind of trickier because the game has been out for so long. But I'd say that would be my advice. My advice for like learning anything is just give yourself like a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, to just make up your own mind with it. And then if you're still dedicated to improving, then you can like look at guides, and you also find people that resonate with you as well. Kang's on the B site. I mean, what is this now? 3v4. Good shot from Mayang. You got another lurk happening here with nobody. I mean, what is Shishu doing? I mean, too much damage done for Ayang here. Oh no! Guys, what? How many 50s is that now? Like across the series, like half a dozen, maybe. I mean, that shot is crazy. Kung's managed to lurk in past the B main players. Shishu Sheriff, I mean, that's a tongue twister for one. Jesus. Shishu Sheriff. I think Kung's just hyping up Shishu more than he's hyping up himself. Fighting this a bit more. Judge misses mostly everything from Berlin. Oh, don't. Oh, okay, never mind, Lysol. I was going to say don't peek anymore, but that shot onto nobody. It's like a pixel. I say Chichu, nobody makes me chain. Yeah, Shishu is nice to say, though. Like, rolls off the tongue really nicely.
场这里被渗透了，对于点内的留一手来说有点危险啊，自己的站位其实不是很好退的。
Still an opening found here. Kachayang. Tour de Force is also out for Kung Kung. 1v1. Oh, 1v2, sorry.
而且绕后看一下 TZH， 它是一把明狙，
贵宾现行，
补了一个贵宾现行。
换枪的话会被听到。
It's just how often like EDG, the flank and everything. Now you got the operator watching him on a super aggressive angle, tries to jump peek it, but just doesn't expect Kung Kung to be that close and fighting. But of course he would, because it's Kung Kung.
TZH 没有预判到，他这个旋转跳其实是看点里的。
是。其实这几分感觉对于 FunPlus 来说都有点难受，被拆。
This shot there is just such a good pre-aim.
人数优势的情况下，他们没有能够去把握住这个机会。
对，而且你看现在 FunPlus 每个人的打法就是很想。
Just as I was thinking, it was a quiet day for EDG, you know.
站位都是那种退无可退，就我要跟你爆。
A quiet map for Kung Kung at the very least. I mean, his KD is still actually insanely strong, considering how close this map is. Recon. Is that just the recon right in the open? Because you have got some like roofs here with the archway. Yeah, also watching. Yeah, find like a one trick of a certain character in League and watch their videos, but I guess most importantly watch their streams. And like, you'll learn a lot.
强行回，
还行，但是晚宴回来过来找他，他的位置是明牌，晚宴火直接甩，
强行回的后果就是晚安了。
对。
现在这4个人显得有点尴尬，中路红装路飞身，还行。那这样把球就抓掉。
Found someone on the lurk, but it's another BE plant.
还是有说法的，而且 Autumn 有2个闪可以用。
阿阳还有狂雷之怒。
但康康想断一个，能断到吗？他的位置其实比较激进了，已经。
Dealing with like the lack of cipher here is a challenge.
已经看到了。
哇 ，TZH 不敢漏，但这种小身位晃看，反正自己的手臂先漏了。
Free flanking behind. Autumn has a rifle. They just don't expect somebody to be that close. Again, why would you? Just the places that EDG play from are just so aggressive. It's more that they keep getting caught out by surprise than anything.
而且我觉得 TZH 那个位置确实挺难受的，他那个位置不能主动漏，他漏的话他没有加强的优势，他等逼他的队友给一些动静，但是康康不知道为什么突然之间灵性往前推了一步，把他找到了。
对于对手绕后过来的人 ，EDG 的站位布置的很好，他知道你不死鸟到这个地点肯定是要打闪的，他就等你脚步过来抓你打闪的这个时机就行了。
是。
I wonder how like the stats work out for FPX on average, like across all of the maps for their attack and defense. Because I think defensively, they're pretty bleak. At least they use the Viper's Pit in B main. Got the Harbor Wall in mid. This just feels like a fight that you end up losing. Actually, Kung Kung just goes and fights Lysor and kills him in this corner. Like, why? When you've got somebody else here with you as a Viper, why are you getting out of your Viper's Pit to clear this? Get somebody else to do that. At least TZH gets that fight. He gets paranoid. He's getting pushed hard here. Really good clearance from Smoggy. Where's Kung Kung's traps in B main?
Autumn 是把康康给收掉了，3打3人数均势，但柏林是有大的这一分，这个抱拳很重要。
Well, this map. Yeah. Well, this round, sorry. I feel, yeah, it's maybe not in favor as much for EDG anymore. This is a really good reckoning. But still, how long mostly wins those fights. If the fight goes on for too long, I feel like it always just ends up pushing. But yeah, Shishu, shook that, dodging everything. All right, FPX do clear it. Gado spoke too soon, I think. Gado, sorry, spoke too soon. Oh, it's very cold in the UK today. It was cold last night, and it's cold. It's meant to be cold all of this weekend. I admit it. It's like -2 here. Yeah, I don't think I could complain in general for all of Europe. But I think it's been relatively, like, nice weather this last week. But it has just, like, dropped off a cliff. Like, the temperature has dropped off a cliff. Like, I don't want to dox myself. Can I even see it on here? Yeah, I need to be careful because I've got the... I don't have the postcode for my house on this PC, but I have the postcode of the Og's office. It's 5 degrees today. Well, it's been like maybe 14 on average. Oh, you're in Ireland, Breeze. Oh, what's this? I was just agreeing that it's cold. Yeah, I mean... And it's crazy because it's a nice day today. It's like really sunny. But I also think it's a little bit cold because Beth has the door open in the other room. But like... It's not too bad. Timeout on either side? Oh no, it's a timeout to attack. I feel like this series had some good viewership to begin with, and then it sort of started to dip off as EDG has just started winning. $20 centimeters snow in Germany today. Yeah. I haven't really had any issues with tech pauses so far today. Do we have enough time to show the Aldron on Sunset? Because it's really easy to do. Because I think the counter that they actually had for the Silver when he was trying to do it from CT was they haunted on top of the wall near him. And then they were wall banging the box that he was using to boost it up. But really, outside of that, I haven't seen a crazy amount from the Silver. I mean, the music's still pretty loud, so we should know when it goes back in. So it's off this box, and then you jump, boost it off this, boost it off this lip, and then you can get so much information. So what they did is they haunted like on here, and then wall banged through this box. So yeah, it's pretty good. There was another one they had from like here that went into this. And I don't think it was a... I don't think you can get into the top of this. Maybe you can. Yeah, no, so it has to go under. There is a gap though, so you probably could do something with it. But I think it was probably something along like this line. Yeah, I don't know how he did it, because he was about here. And it went to about here. I wonder how he managed it. I mean, it says that we get back into game, so it's fine. Alright, 10-9. Timeout used on either side. FPX still have one. FPX got the defuse in the last round, so the money for attacking EDG is kind of awkward. The attack up, though, to change stuff up. One away from having a Nightfall. Run it back. Tour de Force. Not going to be used because they have the operator anyway. Viper's Pit was used last round and made a bit of a mess. Berlin had a good ultimate last round on A. Aldrin at least sees one. I saw the Viper and now the Prowler's been used, so this should be good information. Are they going to, like, run it back from here? No, they just end up fighting it. It's like free. Cascade too, just off the back. I could come up and just see if there's going to be anybody that pushes a B, but it's all pretty safe stuff, really. Harbor wall used across mid, where the Viper wall is. The Cove here. And just a normal recon. Just give them something to play around. Like, this is very Forsaken-esque. Hasn't really worked for Ayang. It's worked really well there for Autumn, though. And Berlin. They both get kills. Oh, he's run out of bullets. Time. Okay, nice. Good stuff. Yeah, the Cove was actually kind of interesting here. I guess it's also good. Well, nobody died on the Fade. But I guess that Cove is good as well, like to hide from haunts. Because you don't have like an Omen smoke that you could just put on site to play around, so they just used the Cove instead. Really good fights from Berlin and Autumn to actually push through that. Oh, and then an EDG timeout. I was partway making a cup of tea, so I'm gonna do that real quick. So I'll be like a minute. Alright, kettle's boiling. Alright, 10-10. At least we have like a close map here. It's been 13-7, 13-5, 13-7. EDG just not messing about. I actually have a big push up here. Ultimate's in a good spot to try and punish this though. The timing is so important. He does eventually get it, but like how quickly people turn around to fight it. Ayang has to respect this. I called map 5, don't forget. Yeah, I mean, very important round for either side. Plant's gonna go in. Okay, Berlin's in a good spot. Doesn't expect Howdog to be up on the high ground. I don't like how he was, like, TZH isn't anywhere near helping him. Oh, they're both in the smoke, just waiting. Oh, he just missed the scope. I like the stuff that EDG did in mid, though, just how quickly they reacted to Autumn pushing it. You even get Lysol there. Yeah, I really dislike Berlin pushing more there. It's still a buy. It's a scrape together. And they actually have to use the tour de force too. Showstopper for Smoggy, who's looked a lot better on the race today as well. Alright, they get Kung Kung. Instant push here. It feels like this is the area that EDG want to try and exploit a little bit more. Yeah, they just wall bang that spot now. So that's the counter to it. You probably can do it from a little bit further back. And you protected a bit more. But that time they didn't even use like the horn. They just wall banged it as multiple people and they got him. Yeah, good read from EDG. 3v2 again. Two CT. Everybody from EDG is spread out. But can kills be traded, or can they just win the duels that they need to? No, if Haldong's going to do that. And Autumn already takes so much damage. Yep, this feels like it's done now. 12-10. The buy is pretty bad from FPX. Yeah, another situation where TCH gets the first kill, or like FPX get the first kill. Some of these shots that EDG are hitting though. Feels like you have to, like, if you want to beat this team in a best of 5, you need to be 2-0 up. Because it feels like EDG, the only series that they end up losing are the ones where they just lose 2-0 and they lose really hard. So maybe there is an element of them just trying to warm up in the server a bit more. Right, I'm going to finish my tea, sorry.
EDG 在不同的阵容里面，他一直在不停的去换自己的阵容体系、英雄选择、战术打法。那对于指挥来说是非常考验的。没错，现在就要看一下教练还有什么安排。对于 EDG 来讲，就目前已经逐渐起势了，而且他们只需要最后1分，而 FunPlus 已经退无可退了。最后2分，对于 FunPlus 来说，无论如何都得要拿到。 感谢两边的粉丝，看一下第一波，两边有可能在边会有一波互击，要过来找刘一手，能找到吗？刘一手先接住了 Smoggy， 而他的位置看一下有队友过来救，补了一手海盾，第一时间刘一手还能够活一会儿，但是结束的一瞬间，球球直接把他给补掉了。两边是。
I love the pressure that EDG are just putting in on this, like even using the cove, because you've snake bit this. Like Lysol can't escape here. There's nothing that he can do. It's just constant pressure, just on him at all times.
不太舒服，因为他们倒了蝰蛇，中路的独木没有办法使用 B 大这个口子，只能够派人来看，直接引发爆拳来找 B 大的位置。
What ultimate got used? Reckoning.
不停的在漏声音啊，给到 FunPlus 一个假象，但确实爆能器还是靠 B 区的，但只漏了一个人，想把 FunPlus 骗出来。
It got some information.
而且中路看一下阿阳，
Oh, Kung Kung missed. Doesn't miss the second shot though. And they've forced out a lot of utility from Berlin already. Like, he's used his Cove, he's used his Cascades, he's used his Harbor Wall, his ultimate. Still managing to win out the fights, however. Crossfire this. Berlin's just going for it. I mean, good that he did, because it worked. Oof. I actually have 3 teabags in this cup of tea. I was in a rush to get it, like, done. They won? Yeah, they won this round, yeah. But here, there's just nothing for Lysol to do. I mean, Berlin especially just goes off. Are we going OT? 2 ops in play. Ultimates, none. Close to a couple. My Autumn might be able to get another run it back. Haodong's close to having his ultimate as Omen, which isn't too amazing. What is Berlin doing? He actually opens the door. They don't expect people to be here. I'm really the recon caught people mid, right? Because there was somebody here. Or did it miss? This is a really interesting round now. Oh, and Lysol pushes. Kung Kung's there with a smoke. Berlin dies. Oh, the pressure that EDG just put on FPX here, they just completely fell apart. Like, this is looking flawless. Like, Ayang, that's the ace. 1v5, Spike's been planted. Nah, done. Good series for EDG, 3-1. Haven gets caught out, but everything else is looking like just bounce back each time. It's like watching like Dragon Ball Z or Invincible. Like, every time EDG lose, they come back the next time like stronger. But I do really wonder what happened here, because there was miscommunication or something. Because something went really wrong here. That recon doesn't get the fade, right? I'm not too sure. That's so... The Viper wall being up as well. Like, the Cascade messes some of this information up. The Viper wall being up seems to mess up information. I wish it was easier to tell from third-person POV if that fade gets hit by this. Which she should do. But I really don't know. But the Cascade and Wall make that recon dart really uncomfortable. To the point where they open the door. And then they're just not reacting to this. It's like, okay, there's nobody mid. So the door gets opened. And then both players are looking for B main. And they just sort of invite EDG into the site. Really interesting. Hey, Yeet main. I mean, you've come at a bad time because the game's just finished. But it was a really good, like, series. FPX, I think they're going to be happy with third place, all things considered. Like, it was a good result from them. But it does mean that EDG have made 3 Evolution finals out of 3. And at least a little bit of a scare on Haven. At least here it was a close map, because the others haven't really been. Like, dominant sides, what was it, like 8-4 in the first half, 9-3, 8-4, 7-5. So at least something that was a little bit closer. Yeah, we got a lot of the answers that we wanted, I suppose, where teams are sitting at the moment. When was the last time FPX played Rare Atom? Act 2. What are the results like between them? FPX actually beat Rare Atom in Act 1. And then they played each other in the losers bracket final that game, and Rare Atom won 3-2. So it's the fact that like the whole scene, I guess, has stayed relatively consistent of like EDG, best team in China, Rare Atom second. You could probably throw Trace in, but I think how it's ended is like FPX, Trace, Attacking Soul. And that's a pretty decent top 5. And then you've obviously got some like upset people of like Tech, Top, BLG sort of let it slip. RNG started to look a little bit worse over time. DRG were looking a lot better. And then there were just other teams and other players that like had their moments, really. So MVP of the map, Smoggy. It's good. Right, so we'll be back tomorrow for the grand old finals of this act, this everything. I'll maybe consider getting some stuff like prepped for it as well. Like some cool stats that I might find, or just general cheat sheets of these teams and what they like to play. Like comps and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll be on for 9 o'clock. Automachi did good on the Phoenix too. It's just sad to see the silver not really add too much. What time? 9 AM. So it should be the same time as it started today. There is, however, if you want to join a Discord, if you don't mind being in another Discord that you might never use, if you join a Discord, you'll get like a ping when I go live, just from like a Discord bot. So it's been a good way, I guess, to let people know easily that I'm live. So if you're not sure on like times and how it translates, if you want, no stress, you can join that Discord and you'll get a ping when I go live. And then, yeah, we'll talk a little bit. I need a couple of days off streaming after tomorrow, that's for sure. But I'm wanting to watch part of some of the other tournaments that are happening in like Pacific and maybe China. Or maybe do some other just streams around that time and come up with some other stuff. Because I quite like streaming in the morning. I think it's good. Are they good to map 5? No, it's done. EDG won 3-1, so we're not good to split. I think this is kind of crazy though. Like 13-11 first kills. Pretty much match up with a score. Because it did feel a lot that FPX were getting the first kill and still not winning a round. But yeah, there's no 5th map because it's just all EDG. But Rare Atom have 2 bans tomorrow. That's a good question. What bans would they take? Before we end the stream, let's see. If 2 bans, what would they ban? Some of this hasn't been updated though, so I need to do that too. Probably Breeze, and then they're not going to ban Sunset because they did beat EDG on Sunset yesterday, so maybe they ban out Haven. But EDG lost on Haven today, so really interesting where that could go. Man of the match, Shishu. I mean, that's no surprise. Actually, Shishu was absurdly good today. But anybody to host? Because we'll send you that way on Twitch. Oh, Women in Esports. The Lioness Cup is on, so we'll throw you that way so you can actually watch a bit more esports. Because I sent you to watch the Talon game yesterday, wasn't it? Of course I get Kung Kung for the interview. Just farming him up as much as they possibly can. But because we do speak Chinese, I guess it's a bit lost on us. But thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a good rest of your Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 AM sharp for the grand finals. EDG versus Rare Atom. Thanks for tuning in. It's appreciated. Let's go out with a bang. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody on YouTube as well. Thanks for